We are live on the tube, and we are going live on the gram.
I'll pay attention to the chats on.
T-Fate was a way to show respect to the audience and respect your own business. It was a way to protect them.
Ladies and gentlemen, heels and faces, casual wrestling fans, and all you smart marks, I am Mr. Richie Moon, and this is Kayfabe F Livecast.
Podcast.
Yeah, I think you settled this. It's just a livecast.
Livecast, podcast. Both.
Yeah. Technical difficulties to start.
Yeah, sorry.
Alright, so
What's going on? Sorry that we missed you on Sunday. Did you miss us? Did you miss us like I missed
I
you?
think a few of them missed us.
I think so too.
That eyebrow means I miss you.
We had somebody injured.
Yeah, we had injury, you know what I'm saying?
Injury.
We had an injury.
Injury bugs.
You know what I'm saying? Injury bugs going around, you know what I'm saying? So it's alright though.
Future endeavors.
You know what happens.
Having back problems throughout the match.
You
You know what I'm
I
saying?
have my,
Sit on the back.
I have my Matt Jackson going on.
It be like that sometimes.
I had to look for a new co-host.
Alright, let's just tell them where we at.
Wow.
Well, he found a new place to dwell. Well, it's down at the end of Jabroni Drive.
I'm gonna let you eat this week, Rock. Alright, I'm gonna let you eat this week. Don't worry. Cause my song, when I debut it, okay? When I drop my new song
On iTunes.
on iTunes, Spotify,
Tidal.
okay? Title. You heard?
We
Tidal.
call it Waves.
Waves. Big waves.
Shout out to Megs B.
Facts. So what are we talking about today, Mr. AJ? Sup?
Ladies and gentlemen, I have some good news and I have some bad news.
So you know we're gonna start off with some news. Thank you, Wade Barrett.
Yeah.
The Barrett Garage.
So first up, we got the AEW possible TV deals.
All elite. All elite.
So the
For
rumor has
life.
that it's gonna be the CW,
Uh-huh.
TBS, or TNT.
Ooh.
Great
Now,
channels.
I was just saying I thought it was gonna be like MTV or like Spike or something like that. That's interesting.
Honestly, I hope it's not MTV. Their reality show thing kind of changed the whole image of MTV. I don't think it's a good fit for
That's true.
wrestling.
That's true.
But CW, TBS, TNT, those are great networks that have a good range of audience. So it makes perfect sense. Probably teaming up with
CW.
Steph and Amel and joining
CW
CW makes
the best.
perfect sense for,
Oh.
we got the Vigilante Club.
Oh.
So makes perfect sense. I personally think they should probably go with TBS or TNT because it makes perfect sense with the network show they're trying to do Tuesday Night Dynamite.
Tuesday night, isn't that catchy? Tuesday Night Dynamite.
Not only
It just
that,
rolls right off the
it's
tongue,
just
right? I love
It's
it.
just reminiscent of WCW days when they had the TV deal through Turner and they were on TNT.
Yeah, this
With
is
Nitro,
this is true.
so
But this is not the
maybe they
second
could-
WCW. This is the first AEW.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope that Cody learned from his father's mistakes
Definitely.
and the booking issues that they had back in the days. And
They are
I think
already.
if they did it with TNT, it'd just be awesome because it'd be like a little bit of legacy in that decision.
It would be. But I'm gonna go ahead and reiterate this one more time. AEW is the first AEW and not the second WCW. I'm just gonna keep on saying that because they're already and things they've already done. They're like already like miles ahead. They're already miles ahead in some aspects. It's crazy.
Speaking about AEW, the past week we had the AEW rally.
Ooh.
And I don't want to get super into details. We have a video up on our page that actually discusses the top 11 things coming out of that situation.
By Mr.
But the
KKK.
major news coming out of it, Pac and Y2J officially signed their contracts to AEW.
Yo, I love Jericho's
Great,
theme
great.
song, yo. Like that's serious. Like,
Serious?
yeah, yo, I put that up on my IG. Like Like when he came out for the joint and like he had
I mean,
the fireworks, like
he's
that's
a
what I
badass.
like, that's what I felt.
Who
Like,
else
I
you
just-
know comes out to his own music? from
Not
his
a lot of
own
people know
band?
that.
you're cool,
Not a lot
but
of
you're
people
not
know.
cool as Chris Jericho main eventing in Tokyo, doing coming out to his own music. Like yo, that's
Not a lot of people
he's the
know
GOAT.
that. Like, I was kind of upset. Like, the audience there were just like, whose music is this? And I'm like, who? How you don't know?
Why would Chris Jericho not come out to his own music? at
Like,
this
I love that. You gotta check out Judas by Chris
It's,
Jericho.
yeah, it's a really good song. Not even like it's
It's
a good
catchy.
wrestling song. It's a really good like song.
His video.
Hey.
Check it
One
out.
of his Fozzy songs.
Hey, Celtic Queen, what's going on? How you doing? Send hello to our IG fans. What's going on YouTube? Yeah, we should have shut the other camera up for Facebook.
Kisses, besitos.
You know what? I'm not using my iPad. I might shut that up for the Facebook. You know it's canon for me to leave anyway.
It's
We'll go-
canon.
yeah, we'll-
It's
we'll-
canon fantasy.
So-
You know what
Just look at our
happened?
old videos. You see, you know, word. Where's our pen? Are we
I
putting,
put-
people,
I
are we
haven't-
putting people on the list?
I have not put
anymore?
anybody on the list since she's been on the show.
Oh man.
My list,
You know
list.
what? Disappear. Put your thing and get your. We need to put.
You know what? Somebody's going on the list. You guys continue on the news. I'll be right back. Somebody's going on the list when I come back. Somebody's going on the list.
We gonna level him, right? He's not there.
I'm
I'm
Somebody's
gonna use his own pen to put him
Somebody's
on
going on the list. Somebody's going on the list.
the list. So yeah, coming out of the AEW rally, we have Y2J, we have Neville, which is known as Pac, joining AEW. We had a few people debut.
Joey Janela.
We had the debut
Bad boy.
of
Bad boy.
we had the debut of Pyro.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That was
Pyro's back.
Plug it.
Listen.
There was so much pyro that I think it almost lit Britt Baker on fire.
Yo, a couple of people almost got lit on fire.
Yeah.
A couple of people
Britt
almost got lit
Baker
on fire.
is just dodging fireworks over here, but good rally. They wanted to top it off with Chris Jericho joining AEW officially. They followed up with being the lead, showing them actually signing the papers and going through the process of the AEW rally. So on the heels of the AEW rally, we also have WWE doing their moves and removing Jericho from the intro signature to their
They
shows.
put Cesaro there.
People
now.
making a big deal. They put Cesaro. That's good. Cesaro has been with the company for years. He deserves that spotlight. But people making a big deal out of this, and it makes no sense. He's officially contracted to the competition or the would-be competition. So why would I feature their major player at all? Of course, he's a legacy character for WWE. Of course, he's still respected. Which goes to my next topic of Jericho actually posting a picture on his Instagram and Twitter with Triple H and referring to Triple H as, you know, a brother. So it makes perfect sense that WWE did that, and Chris Jericho was like, no hard feelings here. I'm just doing me. And leads to another topic of news is the actual contract that they offered Chris Jericho.
The biggest of his career.
The biggest
ever.
of- the
You
biggest
gotta
of-
think about this. Chris Jericho's been wrestling what 20? He's celebrating
Like
30 years.
20-something years,
This
yeah.
is the biggest contract he's ever got. You know, and come on, it's
So with
years.
his deal, he's able to perform for AEW. He's able to get the big money from them. He has time to still do Fozzy. He has time to still do and pursue the Jericho Cruise. So it's just a lot of factors
that's where
going
AEW
into the
is
contract. A
gonna
lot
kill
of freedom.
it. That's where AEW is gonna kill it. You
A
know,
lot of freedom.
Chris
in this
Jericho
contract.
can still do Fozzy. Joey Janela can still do his spring break independent shows. A lot of people don't realize how important that is, and that's honestly going to help AEW because from Joey Janela's spring break shows, you got guys like PCO who's now part of the Villain Enterprise.
Yep.
You know, like a lot of people make their names from those spring break shows. So those guys that are making the waves are probably going to end up going into AEW. So everything just.
Or Ring of Honor.
Or, you know, yeah, and honestly, getting on to that, I don't know if we're going to segue into that, but I think Ring of Honor and New Japan, all of them are going to end up working together.
Yeah, they
Definitely
had
New Japan
they actually
and
had a
all the-
meeting between AEW and New Japan, and it seems like they still want Kenny involved in New Japan
They want Chris
storylines.
too.
And of course, with Jericho's deal, he's still allowed to work for New Japan.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're completely unrestricted. I don't know if it's a good thing for them.
Absolutely.
Now in this current state where their roster is at about maybe 10 right now, So it makes perfect sense for the partnership just to get the flood of wrestling talent and characters involved. So down the line, maybe in 2-3 years, they actually can build their own talent roster. But is it good,
to be honest with you,
for them as a brand this young to be so dependent on other well-known brands?
I don't think they necessarily depend on it, but I think the funny thing is, Ring of Honor and New Japan actually are going to end up needing All Elite, especially New Japan, because All Elite, even though they're making their expansion, but just this quick, All Elite's already getting TV deals. You know, Ring of Honor been running for 15 years. No disrespect to Ring of Honor, but they're just getting TV deals. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not. I mean, All Elite's getting a TV deal. They haven't been on for 15 days.
What's
The company
up,
has been
Jeremy?
alive
We
for
got
15
Jeremy
days.
Ortiz watching.
Yo, what's going on, Jeremy? Shout out to Jeremy Ortiz. And, you know, I think New Japan, to get their expansion into America, they're going to need All Elite. They're going to need each other. I think all of them are going to need each other. For them to really expand,
I
think
personally
they're gonna
don't
need
think
each other.
that New Japan right now is in a spot where they actually need anyone. They already got the notoriety with Kenny Omega actually, being the champion at all. It brought so many American eyes to their brand. I think they're at the point where all they just need to do is have an American liaison in their company that goes out and speaks to these networks and get themselves a TV deal and work their way.
Because they already have a TV deal on Access.
Kind of, yeah. It shows like the
Yeah,
it
but
doesn't, like, show
we're
like
talking
live
about a
and-
major network. If
Fox.
someone like Tony Khan and them, they can instantly go into talks with these networks and get a deal for AEW. I don't see how a powerhouse like New Japan, even though it's probably not renowned in America the way it should be, but they have money. They've been
But
around for years.
It's because the people that were selling those tickets are all in it was the Elite. I love New Japan, but let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Like New Japan, the people that are selling the tickets for New Japan. I love Okada, I love Tanahashi, but the biggest draw was it was the Bullet Club, it was the Bucks, it was Omega, it was Jericho, and all these guys are in the same place now. So they need them, like as good as they are on their own. The Elite leaving,
I mean, it gives a good push to the other brands,
Yeah.
the other teams in New Japan or anywhere else.
Yeah.
Because honestly, we can talk about it. The Elite, Bullet Club, or anything like that are the high brands nowadays.
And now they're bringing exposure to Chaos, Los Ingobernables, they have on.
Villain Enterprise.
I
you
find it funny how we
Blood.
kind of predicted that Los Ingobernables were gonna be like the major faction in 2019.
Yeah, for
We
New
definitely
Japan,
gave
definitely.
them. We definitely gave them over Bullet Club and the Elite faction of the year for last year. So
Oh yeah. They deserved it though.
it's about brand recognition at this point for the individual
Oh,
stars.
It's not selfish.
Fix the camera a little bit.
This one?
Yeah.
Unless you do it. No, it's not gonna reach you.
I'm sorry for the technical difficulties today.
No, what's wrong with the camera?
We're experimenting with angles.
It's two down.
So like this?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I think somebody
see.
just joined on Facebook.
Somebody just joined on the Facebook. Yo, what's going on? Top people's out there on Facebook. What's going on? What's going on? Top people's out there in IG. What's going on? Top people's out here in YouTube. We keeping everybody posted. We got angles going on, baby. We got angles. Pow, 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 pow.
Literally.
Pow.
So-
angles.
So yeah, I don't really think New Japan needs
No, they don't.
them in that way as much. They did bring a lot of views to.
You don't think New Japan to expand into America the way they want to? You don't think they need All Elite?
No,
They're not gonna get. I don't think
They
they're
don't
gonna
need all-
get.
There's
they
already,
don't need all Elite
there's
at all
enough
for the
people
for
that
the
speak
simple fact.
English in New Japan.
Not only that, for the simple fact they've already had 2 shows, 3 shows in America, so they've already touched on
Who
it.
did they sell
America
that?
knows,
Who did they sell that off the back of though?
but they got to see the rest of the stars. And 2 matches, 3 matches in a show doesn't outshine the fact that 4, 5, 6 other matches, and we had a 2-day tournament, and one of those, there was still other star showcase. They saw what New Japan brings to the table. We're gonna see that again when they do the G1 in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
So no,
I mean,
they
I don't
need
doubt-
all, they
I don't
don't
doubt-
need All Elite.
I don't doubt
I
New
think
Japan
at this
at all.
point, All Elite needs them because who's gonna fill this roster right now? They do have people. Cody did
Yeah,
say
George
that
Janela,
he signed
Yeah,
up
people
to.
coming.
He signed about 4 people in one day the other day.
Yeah, people are coming.
People are coming, but you still have that slow build. You still gotta worry about your main event, your mid card, your women's division, your tag division.
I
You
absolutely.
gotta worry about the main players, the mid players, and the jobbers.
Yeah.
You gotta worry about a lot of things, and I don't think they realize the magnitude of that
I
aspect.
think they did.
That's why they need these partnerships more so than a New Japan does. New Japan is set. Ring of Honor. Another tidbit of news: we have Juice Robinson started his own faction in Ring of Honor called the Lifeblood with Emma and a few others. We'll let the kayfabe queen handle that in her section for Ring of Honor. But a lot of movement on Ring of Honor New Japan's stand
They're
for,
starting
Because they want to sign people
for
to.
them to say, hey, we're here, we're not going nowhere. They just refilled their roster in one move. And people were saying, oh, what is Ring of Honor going to do without the Elite? Like, what's next? Oh my God, they're going to be in this horrible. Juice Robinson.
I didn't think, I honestly.
Juice Robinson is what happened.
I'm glad all
to
this.
Ring of Honor.
I'm glad all this happened. My thing was, I was thinking who was gonna be the draw for them. Like, I'm not trying to play New Japan or Ring of Honor,
Honestly,
but I mean, Los Angeles Day Japan is honestly
The
more
people
popular.
who
But it's just I don't know who's gonna be the
Ring of Honor alone,
to
they
sell out-
still have
to
they still
sell out.
have Jay Lethal. They still have Marty
Jonathan
Scurll,
Grissom.
Jonathan Grisham. They have Zack Sabre Jr. still doing things for both companies.
It's true.
Will Ospreay.
We have a lot of people. We have
But,
a lot of
are
people.
they gonna sell out arenas in America?
I think they will.
Hell yeah.
Because you gotta
I
understand.
hope
All
so.
in
I hope so.
did how many numbers,
I
and
hope
it
so.
was off the back of an independent scene.
Yeah.
With or without the Elite, it was on the back of the independent scene.
It was
There's a lot
Yeah.
more eyes in 2019 than it was 10 years ago on wrestling as a whole. It's no longer just WWE is wrestling. People are actually starting to notice. They're starting to look for other venues.
This is true.
So,
True.
I think they can all stand
hope
on
so.
their. I think they all can stand on their own.
I definitely think they can too. My thing was just the common denominator. All those are the Elite, and those guys. From we can see it from the T-shirts that we have on to the numbers. Those guys are the draw. So now the draw out. We'll see. It's going to be very interesting. I think 2019 probably going to be one of the most interesting years. I honestly think we are about to be in a third golden age of professional wrestling. We are about to enter the third golden age of
I
professional
think
wrestling.
I think
We're
so
about
too.
to.
We have
We're about
we
to.
have so many options now.
Once
So many different ways to
AEW
watch it.
Once AEW gets honestly after Double or Nothing. After Double
This is
or
not
Nothing.
the table.
No, it was up. It was up. I don't know. why.
Nah, this one she got a new. We getting angles. We literally got a 360 degree right now going on like. So
Like the Matrix.
There you go.
yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of more options, and I think in this year this is the most easiest it's been to actually watch indie wrestling.
Yeah,
Because
even
I remember
yeah.
back then you needed to trade tapes, trade
Trade
files, or
I was a tape
or
trader.
back.
Listen, I was a tape trader. I used to love
Yeah,
tape
you
trading,
have to write down
man.
the records.
Yeah, oh man, write down the records.
I mean, Meltzer. You can go on just on a Wrestler Observer. Meltzer has all that stuff. Meltzer has all that stuff.
So moving on, we have Trevor Lee signing to WWE. This has
Yeah.
been a big question
Good
mark
move.
for a few weeks.
Congrats.
Congrats.
We
Trevor
have
Lee.
205 Live officially moving back to Tuesday nights.
I don't think that's a good move, but
I don't think so either. I think on Wednesday
it was
it
great on
filled
Wednesday.
it filled the second hour slot for like 205 UK NXT UK and the regular NXT.
Yeah.
It gave us the 2-3 hour slot and it made it feel like that
Absolutely.
night was special for that. So I don't know if it should.
Maybe they changed it because UK comes in at 3 in the afternoon. We get it at 3 in the afternoon. Then it was NXT. Then they should have kept it. They should have kept it.
Yeah, they should have kept
It's a
it
lot going
because
on.
They should have
I
kept
mean,
it. There's a lot
you
going
can't
on.
count it 205 live after that though. It's a tape.
Exactly.
it's 205 tape.
So,
Facts. 2
Uh,
5 tips. Word.
Speaking of the UK NXT, we finally have the first Performance
Take
Center.
Over
You
Blackpool.
talking about the
Yeah,
But
We have
did you see the interview that Triple H did with Inside the Ropes?
no, I didn't.
Oh
actually.
my gosh, you gotta see that. It's Charlotte, Balor, Pete Dunne, Rhea Ripley, and they're at the Performance Center in the UK, and they're just talking about it, and it's awesome. It's awesome. You know, I still have my reservations about it, but
I've been saying that WWE's worried about the brand recognition. They're trying to recreate their own.
Localization, aka the taking over the territories, just like they did names.
No, they're creating. There's in this day and age, there's no taking over the territories. The only way they'll be considered taking over the territories is if they try to buy Ring of Honor, try to buy New Japan, try to buy AEW. The territories that they're doing, they're creating their own territories.
Yeah.
So I respect it, and this is the plan. We actually have a debate episodes back. I can't even remember about this actual topic, and it came to fruition that they actually did open a performance center, and now they're gonna help people develop over there. You know, NXT brings in everybody. They bring in old football stars. You know, everybody can learn in NXT's development system.
My biggest issue,
nothing but more wrestlers.
My
being
biggest
generated.
issue with this is that I love the fact that it's more wrestling, but I do not want the entire world wrestling a WWE style.
They don't have to. NXT UK don't really wrestle with WWE.
Yeah, I don't see how you can say that, because NXT, for one, the regular NXT, they for the most part let them wrestle however style they want. NXT UK, they've been hard hitting that British style. They go for it all the way.
I mean, perfect example.
Then
We'll get into
Live,
it more with Finn Balor's match.
what WWE is doing, they're branding styles of wrestling and making shows out of them. That's really what they're doing. And mark my words, when they do NXT Japan and open a performance center in Japan, it'll be Japanese style of wrestling. We'll probably see strong style.
I think it's gonna be a while before they get in
It's
Japan.
gonna be a dojo.
Well,
I think it's gonna be a while before they get in Japan.
I'm definitely saying that now. We're gonna see the same thing happen in Japan.
Well, it's rumored that the next one's gonna be in Germany.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be in Germany off the back of Volta.
Them too.
Volta, okay? Okay? I'm gonna put over Volta hard when we get to this. Listen.
So
We're chopping his way through 2018.
you kind of mentioned it. You're gonna talk about it in detail, right? But Toni Storm is the new UK Women's Champion,
Yes. Especially everything that she's been through
and
personally.
Walter that you mentioned, he made his debut finally for
It's the butt.
Listen,
Takeover.
he is a
It's
guy.
a takeover.
Listen,
But
mark my
It's
words
the
that
butt.
Walter, you heard it first.
The
Walter is going to
butt.
be the guy that take Pete Dunne's championship. That's going to happen. That's not a spoiler. That is a guarantee.
Oh,
so
bold predictions.
going back
Bold,
to
very
AEW, which is a big topic, there was a rumor that there was a big rumor going on Twitter and everything that WWE was kicking people out for AEW shirts and this and banning people. That wasn't the
That's
case. That was not the
False.
Make them
case.
turn
We
this
actually
over.
had someone who was actually live there in Jacksonville.
This is
Shout
true.
out to EA.
Hey,
He's a big part of our kayfabe app chat.
yeah.
So shout out to EA.
Shout out to EA.
But he was there live, and he was saying that they kicked people out who were just acting rowdy,
That's not true.
and
Well, yeah, there was a group of people.
there was a
that
group of
acted
people
rowdy.
acting rowdy,
Acted rowdy.
and that's the group that really was getting kicked out for doing.
And
the
they were
AEW
wearing
thing.
the AEW
They-
merchandise,
they were
so they
making-
took it as making this big story, which was false.
Yeah,
And
They
it
were
wasn't
making
the
people.
case.
They were making people turn their shirts inside out. They were because there were people on Twitter and Instagram like, yeah, I had to turn my AEW shirt.
but there were
inside out.
actually people
But I kicked
there
them
that's
out.
like,
I kicked them out.
here's my
Yeah.
AEW shirt inside the arena.
Yeah,
So,
taking pictures.
I think it's also a lot of people trying to exaggerate something that wasn't that way and trying to make a story where there is none.
Yeah,
Trying to create the smoke. So
so. You
I mean,
heard it live
I
here.
mean, but it was.
False
I mean, it
news.
was good though.
It
was
would have
good.
been. It would have
It
been.
was good. No, I'm just
Good
talking about
effort, good
I'm talking
effort.
about the whole rally and just the fireworks and just like I think Chris, somebody did an impression. Somebody was just like, oh, Vince was just like, God damn it, tell him to cut that stuff down. I know we're trying to do a show over here. It's just like, yeah. So I got to picture that.
So that's pretty much all the news that I have. You have anything else to add? You have any?
Oh man, I went live on my phone, but I can't remember my notes. So we had Zack Sabre Jr.
Say
side.
about Junior
We
San.
had Zack Sabre Jr. versus Pac at Rev Pro. It unfortunately ended in a disqualification, and Will Ospreay came out to the ring because Will Ospreay and Pac are gonna have a match, I think like 2 weeks or something like that.
Ooh.
Yeah. And we
More
said,
than that.
Pac just signed to All Elite. Pac also had a match on Defiant, which is What Culture's wrestling company. Defiant. It used to be called What Culture Pro Wrestling, but now it's called Defiant. And they have a lot of stars. They have a lot of people.
You know, I never knew that. That's a good tidbit.
Yeah,
I never
Defiant
knew
has
that.
a lot of people that come through there.
Wrestle Talk has their own wrestling promotion.
No, not Wrestle Talk, What Culture.
Oh, What Culture?
It used to be called What Culture Pro Wrestling, but now they changed it to Defiant. But a lot of people go through there. Cody's been there. Kurt Angle went through there. Pac went through there. Rey Mysterio, Will Ospreay, Ricochet, mad people.
Wow.
Yeah, Austin Aries, a lot of people went through Defiant. So, the Revival have trademark FT. They did that on January 1st. Hashtag FTR. They trademarked that. And when they did that, I automatically thought, they're probably going to leave.
Yeah.
And then we found out today,
They asked for their release.
they asked for their release. They're probably going to get hit. WWE's probably going to make them wait out the contract, and then they're going to hit them with the 90-day no-compete clause. But I think we all know that the Revival are going to go to all elite, all elite. So
AEW.
I
next
mean,
time for the Revival.
it's been written, literally been doing it on Twitter, you know. So I mean, it's only right. The top guys, they want more shine, they want more creativity, they want
They
more.
want to stop losing to loser house party.
Exactly.
Well,
Lose a house.
I don't think they were going nowhere at this point. I think WWE was actually giving them their shine. They're literally being called the uncrowned champions on Raw.
Yeah.
And it was leading to, I feel like it was leading to that moment, like, finally, the Revival is the champ, the champions.
Yeah.
And it was going to be a moment. I think they got a little, you know what, too little too late, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
thing,
they were.
you know?
I think they were.
I think they was already tired of it.
Yeah, they were tired of this. They were playing this. They trademarked it on January 1st. Like, yeah, it's time to go. And I understand, as an artist, to have more creativity in what you want to do. That's the thing. That's the thing that gets me. Like, oh, I understand why guys would go. I mean, of course, the money. We all need money, but like, wrestlers are artists at the end of the day, and they're gonna have more of a chance to be creative and flesh out characters. Maybe some things will fail, but you need things to fail to be able to get to. You know what I'm saying? Cody's not the Cody that we knew now. He was Stardust.
Yeah.
He was Stardust. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, no knock on Stardust.
Which at one point wasn't that bad.
I like
it was
Stardust.
actually.
Funny.
Stardust would have been really cool if they'd have let Cody do his idea with being
just got
Stardust
too
on
ridiculous
Raw and
after
being
a while.
Cody on SmackDown. That would have really put Stardust over, but
That and the Cosmic Wasteland with
Yeah, that-
Ascension.
That was a drop. I was actually hyped for that stable because I've been wanting to see Ascension do something for a while.
And now they're in the back burner.
They
So
dropped the
Cosmic Wasteland.
WWE, man, these
I was
NXT
expecting big
call-ups.
things out of that, you know.
We'll talk about that on Sunday, but these NXT call-ups. Yikes.
Yes.
We'll get to that. Yikes.
So
Yikes.
is that it for the news?
That's it for the news.
We had the
That's
good
it.
news. We had the bad news. And now let's move on to last week's Raw. So last week's Raw starts off with Cena's official return to get into the matches. He's, talking his normal stuff. Who's the person that's going to come out today? Blah, 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 blah.
I like that. He doesn't like that, but I like that.
I don't
like
because
it.
it's the same
B.
thing.
Rabbits it, man.
He's just recycling it at this point. And it's like, I'm back. This is what's wrong with me and what you can possibly use to make a better promo out of yourself. Come on. And that's what he does every time.
But he put people over, though.
He does put people over, but which is not a problem, which is something that happened, and we'll talk about that on Sunday.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Cena's typical promo. I'm back. Who's gonna interrupt me? Drew McIntyre is that guy. He interrupts him, and I love any time Drew McIntyre comes out because I feel like he's
The
speaking straight from the
chosen
heart. I feel like he's saying exactly what the fuck the fans want to hear.
Yep.
But it's
Wait.
not fair.
It's repeat.
How
But
it's
it's
not
Let me
fair,
tell you
It's
why it's not
repeat.
fair. No, let me tell you why it's not fair.
but it's true. You're
So-
complacent.
So
I'm the next guy. He's true. It's true.
Drew McIntyre is awesome. He cuts a good promo. But then Cena can basically Drew McIntyre saying the script. John Cena can just respond back to whatever he wants. John Cena can say whatever he wants, so it's almost not fair. It's
Well,
almost
I don't
not
think
fair.
at this point, I don't think WWE's really scripting much. It should.
Sorry, I don't know if you need that call.
Yeah, I don't know who that was, but
You know what happens when you call on the podcast?
Right?
I think I'm
You
a
know what
pen.
happens?
You were supposed to bring. You know what?
Where's
You
the
made
pen?
we're gonna make a digital list.
Digital
All right,
list.
because when you
I haven't put anybody on the list
walked
in a
off,
while.
when you walked off,
It's
you're
part of
supposed to
the
come
show.
back with a pen.
It's part
Actually,
of the show.
I have a pen. It's in my bag behind you.
It's part of the
Get,
show.
get that pen out.
It's part of
Get
the
that
show for
pen
me to
out.
walk out. It's part
You
of the
want
show
a
for me to
pen
walk
or a
out.
marker?
People
Or
are used to me
next to
walking
the
out.
couch on the side.
People are used to me walking
You
out.
know what?
You know?
It's my turn.
Oh,
People are used to.
It is canon. I'm walking out. Then I drop my notes.
Oh, see, he dropped his notes. See,
Oh,
no,
no.
see, because it's not canon for him to walk out. You know what I'm
You
saying? It's
know
part of
what?
it's canon for me to walk. I don't knock things out. when
I
I'm
got
drunk.
it.
Uh-oh.
You know what happens?
What happened?
You just made the list.
You putting me on the list?
Well,
And just in case anyone else needs to be put, we have the backup list.
I'm making a
Well-
new list.
I got the book. Not even the list, the book.
All right, I don't even do my sound bites anymore. But you know what, guys? I'm making a new list. Nah, I'm not making a list. That's all right. Don't worry. Before the end of the show, somebody's gonna get put on the list. Somebody.
It
So
was just
Maybe you got up there in TV land, huh? Maybe I put one of you guys on the list, huh?
you made,
Huh?
you made
I'll
me
put you on the
walk off-
list.
You made me walk off on my segment. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
So
Dun dun dun.
you officially made the list.
Ooh.
Alright?
Oh, man.
Drew McIntyre's the guy who interrupts him.
Mm-hmm.
Leo Rush interrupts them. And this is coming off of the
Oh,
week
man.
before where Seth Rollins ends up burning it down on him and curb stomps him in the mat. Did this crazy flip when he got curb stomped too.
Yeah.
Like, he really sold the hell out of it. But he's coming out, he's hijacking the show. The show's not continuing unless Leo Rush gets his comeuppance.
This is when he yelling about legal actions and all that stuff.
Yeah, I feel like they should have mentioned David Otunga in that moment. Like, I have Otunga in the back right now.
He
Yeah,
was actually in the back. If you seen the brawl, he actually was there.
Oh,
Like,
so
trying
he's
to
like,
stop-
I'm recording all of this for Bobby Lashley and Leo
Yeah.
Rush.
No, he was actually stopping the brawl between them. That's
Oh.
what's like, where did this one come from?
Yo,
Like, if
what's
you-
going on,
if you
Facebook
see-
people?
Yeah, David
Which is
Otunga-
like the only time that Zack Ryder
David
ever gets
Otunga's a
TV
normal guy backstage.
TV
Um,
their butt.
I think he is a head of their legal department. I
He
think.
probably really is. Yeah, he went to Harvard. He's
Yeah.
like,
So
he's,
Leo
not
Rush
keeping
comes
it.
out. That leads to Rollins coming out, which leads to Dean coming out, which leads
wow.
to Finn Balor coming out.
The Beller
And
Club.
call Teddy Long because we have a tag team match, 6-man tag. We have Cena, Balor, and Rollins versus Dean, Bobby, and Drew.
Next week I'll be back on my.
Obviously, Cena, Balor, and Rollins win. Finn actually been on a fucking
Listen,
roll.
Finn Balor with my video episode coming out on Sunday. Check out top 5.
So-
I'm gonna give it out. Finn Balor's my top 5 for things to watch out in 2019. My man's on the roll. He's undefeated in 2019 so far. And you know, even though we're covering last week, Royal Rumble, my man is going 1-on-1 with Brock Lesnar. Boom! The real rocket. We're not gonna get the real rock and roller, but we're gonna get. We might get. I'm not gonna
get
say
the
it, but we
demons.
might. Maybe.
Mm.
Maybe.
So they come out on top of that. After that, Rollins goes backstage. He approaches Triple H, demands his rematch against Seth Rollins. He grants it to him in a Falls Count Anywhere match, which is what I like. They're actually feel like they're drifting more into like the extreme, rules
There's a
and
little bit of attitude error
more
at some things.
more backstage segments. It feels like the promos are actually not as scripted, probably bullet
Yeah.
points at this point,
Hopefully.
and we'll get more into that.
I would say that for Raw and SmackDown,
Um,
the backstage scene has been feeling on both Raw and SmackDown. Been feeling like more of
Attitude,
an action. Like you go back there and you bump into somebody instead of just the stage stuff. But yeah,
So after that happens, we have Hulk Hogan finally makes his return to Raw. Unfortunately, is for the passing of Mean Gene Okerlund. Rest in peace to Mean
rest in
Gene.
peace, Mean Gene.
But great tribute.
Yeah,
There's people that are still there that hung up on the scandal from before. I won't get into that. That's personal between them. But it was good to see somebody who made Mean Gene and Mean Gene made that person. You can't really think about Mean Gene without thinking about Hulk Hogan.
absolutely.
And there was
you can't
no
think about Hulk
dry
Hogan.
eye.
Yeah, so
Definitely. I was crying.
Yeah, so it was just waiting for that. Well, let me tell you something, Mean Gene. It was waiting for that.
Mean Gene.
It happened.
Just the video they cut about Mean Gene, like the song and everything was perfect. So
Because
They
WWE
actually
does video
aired
packages better than
Mean
everybody's
Gene
winning.
special, which I watched on the WWE
Yeah, I watched that
Network.
too,
It
yeah.
was really good. Like they went behind the scenes, things that I've never seen.
So you know that Mean Gene is the one that really, Mean Gene's the one that really led Hogan. Mean Gene's the one that really, because Mean Gene had experience as a sportcaster before he became a wrestling sportcaster. He was a radio personality, so he could just ad lib and just lead a lot of guys on.
Hulk Hogan didn't even like to look at the camera.
Word, he would cut promos like this. He would cut promos like this, and Mean Gene's the one that got him comfortable to open up and just lead him on to that next question and just feed him to some people.
They touched on his relationship with Hogan. They touched on his relationship with Macho Man Randy Savage. It was definitely worth the watch. You guys gotta watch it.
Absolutely. That's Mean Gene.
So after that, we got the 10-bell salute, and then we have Bobby Roode and Gable versus the Revival. Lumberjack match. Bobby Roode and Gable end up winning. We have Corbin versus Elias. Corbin ends up winning.
WWE stands for.
I feel like
Wave Alliance.
they're doing more with Elias, but I don't think in the way I want. I want him back into winning matches more so than using him as a segment guy. And I feel like they're kind of drifting back to that, being a segment guy.
Because you turn babyface, and sometimes there's limitations being a babyface.
Yeah, so speaking of the scripted promos and stuff like that, we have Braun Strowman and Brock's promo, which in my notes literally says horrible Braun and Brock promo.
Thank you.
So
I agree.
it was trash. It was trash as fuck.
I agree.
It was so trash that Brock Lesnar pretty much was laughing at the fact that Braun Strowman looked like he forgot what to say, or in the moment of creativity had nothing to say.
He went blank.
So
there was nothing there. You could see it in his face. It was just like.
This is the thing. You don't normally see that out of Braun. When it's scripted, he goes in there and he cuts the promo. He's in there. He's out. This was literally like, I have freedom.
I think Braun,
like they're in the headlights.
I don't think it was freedom. I think Braun forgot his lines, and the reason why I say that because I recognize that look.
He was just like.
I'm an actor, and unfortunately, I've been in a position in class where I forgot my lines, and it is probably one of the worst things ever to forget your lines on stage.
And Brock was
and
that's
what happened.
Yeah.
Brock was like, that's it.
That's why
Like,
when you notice he came out, he was just like, I can see the wheels turning. That's why he did like an extra get these hands. I can tell he was just like, damn, what is my line? What is my line? What is my line? It's just then he gets, come on, Beastie Boy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
it was
bro.
really bad. And
Yeah.
I feel like Paul Heyman being such an OG
Such a
in
dick.
promo work, he didn't help.
dick.
He didn't help that
No, he
situation.
didn't.
You know what, Paul Heyman? Go ahead. Come on. Let me see it. You know what? You thought I was gonna put Paul Heyman on the list? Oh no, I'm not putting Paul Heyman on the list. You know what happens, Braun? When you show up to TV, huh, Braun? And you don't remember your lines? And even though I've been in that situation, I feel sympathy for you. But you know what? I haven't put anybody on the list, so you're going on the list. You know what happens, Braun?
What happened?
You just made the list. Read it. He's on the list.
So yeah,
Not even
terrible promo.
Yeah,
And
sorry,
you let's move on from that.
that'd be fine.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's true. So, moving on from that, we have Apollo and Ember versus Jinder and Fox. Don't want to get too much into details of that. Apollo and Ember win. Next up is the new Alexa Bliss show, which to me was the highlight of Raw for me because
Moment of bliss.
she brings out Ronda Rousey. Ronda explains how she wants to fight, of all people, Sasha Banks. And it finally pulls Sasha Banks from the shadow of the hugger connection she got. And
AKA,
finally,
they don't want anybody thinking about AEW.
but it doesn't, to me, it does. See, I'm not even thinking of, as a fan, I'm not thinking about it as, oh, they did this for AEW. I'm thinking about it, okay, they're trying to right all the wrongs like they said they were.
Yeah.
They're trying to give the
fans.
They try to give the fans exactly what the fans been asking for.
That's part of it.
You wanted more of the Revival. Regardless if the Revival asks for their releases today, they've been getting their shine every week. They are literally being called the uncrowned champs on Raw. That's a storyline, brother, that was supposed to lead somewhere. Sasha Banks get pulled up and brought into a title match.
Finally.
Finally, Apollo's been getting his
Good for
shine.
him.
Finn Balor is definitely you revealed it.
Getting his
He's
shine.
getting his shine. He's
His
got has the
rematch.
number one contender match.
Rematch, finally.
They don't want
Rusev.
anybody thinking about AEW, okay?
No,
No.
that's not it.
Especially, you know,
They want
for everybody
they want
else.
their ratings
I
back.
will say this specifically though. I honestly do think for guys like AJ and Finn and specific guys like that, I do think they're like, here, hey, no, what? Here, push, push, guys, push.
I mean,
push. They don't want them thinking about that.
the only thing I will agree as far as they're not wanting AEW to get shine is the way they're signing and the way they are increasing their contracts.
I mean, I do agree with you guys. At the
That
same time.
stuff.
They are trying
But
to
the
more
stuff on
peace.
TV,
Yeah,
I feel like is more like
yeah, they are trying.
we're
to,
losing ratings.
Yeah, absolutely.
We feel like WCW. Let's
Yeah,
drift.
that's
from
definitely
that.
a big. Yeah, that's
And
definitely.
it's
yeah.
really, really showing.
Yeah, they're trying.
Like
They're trying.
this current week's Raw, amazing. We'll talk about that on Sunday.
On Sunday.
He thinks
But,
it's amazing. Oh, we're gonna have a nice debate about that.
Oh,
Ooh, we're gonna
let's.
have a nice debate about that.
Let's,
Ooh,
because
yes,
that was
please.
a great Raw.
Yeah.
Great Raw. Remember he said great Raw.
Great Raw. Moving on, we have so Sasha Banks ends up, coming out because what's her name?
That's Sasha Banks.
You made me lose my train of thought. Ronda Rousey,
This is I don't like this Ronda.
calls her out, pretty much tells her she wants to challenge Sasha because she wants to compete. Nia Jax oh really, Sasha, this is who you want. I'm right here, blah blah blah. Sasha ends up, for people who are saying there's no build, but why Sasha's jumping to this? This is the fucking build.
Mm-hmm.
This is the story. Right now we're 2 weeks away and we're talking about last week's episode. So
It's still being
it's
talked
still
about.
getting built.
Yeah.
So Sasha ends up earning her spot she was handed. She ends up earning it. She tells Nia Jax straight up, oh yeah, you talking shit, bitch. Literally used the word bitch. Which I guess left Nia Jax stunned. Like
Yeah.
I don't. She was like,
She sat down and was like,
She flopped her promo right there. I'm not a bitch, but
I'm not a bitch, but I'm the bitch.
yeah, like
The bitch. Just like that. Just
like,
I'm the
I'm
bitch.
sorry, but Nia Jax
Sorry about
just
that.
every week proves to me that
You absolutely,
Oh damn.
undoubtedly, unquestionably, 100% completely suck.
she's trash,
From
brother.
your cousin.
I'm sorry. She's trash. Her in-ring work sucks. She doesn't have a large moveset. She's not that great in promos. She's just not interesting. I'm glad someone like Sasha Banks is finally taking that shine and finally getting her just due.
Good for her.
Good for her. So she ends up putting it up against Nia Jax, her number one contender spot, ends up beating Nia Jax in what was a good match, which, like Sasha Banks usually does, carried that match.
Yeah.
So
I don't like this version of Ronda. I don't like this humble. Oh yes, maybe.
oh no, it's
maybe
far
I'll
from humble.
Maybe I'll fight you. Maybe you'll be my
Nah,
next
it's-
I think
contender.
that's her gimmick.
It's far from humble.
Just like-
it's far from humble. It's like, yes, I would respectfully like to whoop your ass and make you tap out to my dominance
Yeah.
and respect you while I do it. That's her gimmick right now.
That's her gimmick. Be nice and whatever. And then when
We're
we
gonna
actually
have
fight,
an all-out classic battle, and in the end, I'm gonna break your freaking arm. But I respect you for it. Like that's her gimmick right now, which I
I
actually
applaud.
like.
I applaud it.
I like it.
I applaud
I
it.
like it more of that.
I don't
Because
know.
if you think about it, she had a match with her best friend Natalia, and that was actually a great match.
Mhm.
Like all feelings aside, it was like business. That
And
was a
I
good
think
match.
Natalia opened up her eyes. I think that's what we got out of that match. Natalia opened up her eyes to, bitch, we need a fight.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is. Stop treating me like a friend. We're going to fight. So she's on her cocky shit. She's on her. This is going to be a classic. I respect your in-ring work and everything you do. You respect it backstage, but I'm going to make you tap, and then I'm going to feel better about it. Solidify my reign with making you tap. Thank you. So I like that.
We will see that
Next,
match between Sasha Banks.
This leads to the end of Raw, which is that Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. False Count Anywhere. Great match, back and forth. ends with Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush getting their revenge, putting Seth Rollins through a table, costing him the match for the IC title, and it leads to the setup for this current week, a triple threat for the IC title between the three guys. And that was Raw for this week.
Can we talk about that video that was being trended with
Hey guys,
Which video?
with
back on live.
Dean
Sorry.
Ambrose? He threw Renee Young's phone to
No, I
Michael.
haven't.
You haven't seen
I
that?
haven't seen that.
Wow.
It
Okay,
was
so
through
there's
my
a
phone?
so there's a video of Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins fighting, and he threw him onto the announce table. It breaks, but Renee Young is in the background. If you see the video, and you see her telling Dean like my phone. So Dean actually got out of character, took her phone and threw it to Michael Cole and was like, okay, and went for the pin for Seth Rollins. Like that was
He did it all in
all in the mix.
two
Like,
motions.
oh, there's my wife's phone. Good husband, good husband. That was the hashtag. Good husband.
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose is a good husband.
Shouts out to Bodega Papi on the YouTube. He's saying Ronda's just happy to be there. I mean, she is just happy to be there, and that was something. That was something I was saying months ago that she needed to change. That happy-go-lucky. Oh my God! Like this is something awesome to look at every time she came down the ramp. Like no, but you own this shit. You're dominant. Accept your position already. Stop that happy-go-lucky.
Oh, what's up, Indy? What's going on?
Oh, Indy's on. Hey, Indy.
Hey, indeed.
So,
Hi.
yeah, I definitely agree with Bodega Papi. She's happy to be there, but she is transitioning to that cocky like, I'm gonna whoop your ass, but like let's have a good match while we do it. So,
Nice. Are we on
on to
SmackDown?
SmackDown.
Are we going into the A show?
No.
Are you guys ready for the A show?
For
Okay.
the phenomenal show.
It's been confirmed. It's the B show. 6-0, 6-0 guys.
Damn.
6-0.
We in the feelings
Uh,
today.
Last week was the first week that Raw beat SmackDown in ratings in 2019.
Congratulations. For now.
Because we all know who the A show
For
is.
now.
Yeah.
It's the house that AJ Styles.
Boom! Boom! You see that? So,
SmackDown.
SmackDown started off with the WWE champion, the Planet's champion, Daniel Bryan,
Captain Planet.
Captain Planet.
I'm still gonna say it, Captain
Yeah,
Planet.
that's what we call him here on Kayfabe Ave, Captain Planet. He was in a concession stand and he was telling everybody out there to count the goddamn sins. You out there with your hot dogs. You out there drinking your plastic stuff with your plastic straws and your sugary stuff. Count the sins, people. Count the sins, okay? Think about the things you do. So he's out there just berating everybody, and he's doing all this, and he's also heading towards ring. He's
Grabbing hot dogs.
grabbing hot
Yo,
dogs.
the look on that guy's face, even though I already know
He
he's
was a
probably
plant.
it was
He
a
was
plan for
definitely
sure.
a plan.
It's
Even
fine.
the guy with the cup of soda.
Yeah.
But the look on his face, like, dude, did you just like
Splash showed
I was
on him.
about to eat that.
Oh, yeah, I
He walked
really
up to the-
wanted that. While you're talking shit about it, I really wanted to eat
He
that.
walked up to this guy in the crowd calling him impotent. He was just, oh my gosh. He's being, this is heel Daniel. This is one of the best heels in the entire wrestling industry right now. So he's going through this, he's walking through the crowd, and he gets down to ringside. And as soon as he gets down to ringside, he just gets blindsided by R-Truth. Now this is going back to a few that came from the Christmas episode of SmackDown. They came to
wanna call
like
it that.
Corey Graves' bedroom with Corey Graves in the bed like with a suit. It was something crazy. But
Don't get us kicked off the air now.
I was reconnecting.
Oh.
Technical difficulties, people. Like,
But yeah, man, our Truth attacked AJ, attacked Daniel Bryan, and that led to a match. And you know, our Truth was getting the best of him at first, but then you know, once Daniel Bryan got his composure, you know, he got back into the match, hit him with that running knee, and we were reminded why Daniel Bryan is the world champion. And as he's walking up the ramp, AJ Styles just comes out of nowhere and starts attacking him. So I like the way SmackDown started because it's real chaotic from the back. You know, then R-Truth coming, boom, AJ Styles coming. This is a really good way to start the show. Yeah, we definitely need more of that. Daniel Bryan later in the night cut this promo about how he's vicious, he's a new WWE champion, he's a new Daniel Bryan, and everybody's talking about the real AJ Styles. But Daniel Bryan, and he looked crazy. He legitimately looked crazy when he was cutting this promo.
You know what?
And he was,
The Yes Movement is
the
dead.
Yes Movement is dead.
And
Count the
I
sins, people.
Killed it.
Count the sins, people. And he was also kill that.
Kill that.
Kill that. And he was also pissed because somebody got mustard on his shirt. And the next match we had was really awesome. All four of these guys declared themselves in the Rumble. We had Andrade Cien Omos, which he was called at that time, but he's not called Andrade Cien Omos anymore.
It's too much to say.
Andrade Cien Omos. It's nice.
Andrade, boom, straight to the point.
We had Andrade Cien Omos and Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio and Mustafa Ali. And goodness gracious, it sounds just as good as it was, ladies and gentlemen. There was a lot of big spots in this match, but obviously Rey Mysterio hitting the Canadian Destroyer on Andrade Cien Omos.
God, that was amazing.
We rarely see power drivers in WWE, so to see that was awesome, and the way he did it was awesome. But Andrade Cien Omos is the one that reversed the 619, caught him with a hammerlock DDT, and that was Andrade Cien Omos' first victory on SmackDown Live since August 18th, 2018, where he beat Aiden English.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So.
Aiden English, the new Aiden English.
But hey, it is what it is. Next segment we have Rusev Day out in the ring, and he's pissed off, man, about
Rusev Mashka.
about Nakamura and the situation that happened
And
with
again,
Ronda being
I
knocked
think
off.
this highlights the fact that they're not really leaning into scripted promos.
Oh, his script was definitely he definitely had a script. But Rusev is such a
like that.
Rusev is such a good, he's such a funny guy. You can definitely tell. It was like really contrived. Only because Rusev always does videos on IG, and the way he talks and the way he I'm like, yeah, that's a script. That's a script. But I mean, it was still funny because it's Rusev. He's freaking. You see that beard? You see that beard on that guy? You see Rusev beard? How could you not like him? He's a great guy. But Shinsuke Nakamura was back in the production truck, and he was just like, no, actually, he showed him the footage. It's actually your fault. And then it kind of was when you look at it. It was. Rusev ran to the back. He got blindsided by King Shaza. He had like a production truck thing. He rammed it into him, hit him with a King Shaza. Cut next to a Mean Gene video package, and at the time, my eyes just started sweating. The new era in WWE continued. You know why I know the new era continued in WWE? Because we got a match between the Usos and the Bar.
Arr.
That was sarcasm, people. We've seen that match 25,000 times in 2019. Do the math. It's 33 and a half times. Do the math.
Especially the halftime.
Especially at halftime. It was 33 and a half times. If you add the Usos times the Bar, you know what I'm saying? And then you throw in SmackDown in it,
33%.
a 33% chance that we've seen this match 33 times in 2019. Steiner math, it always works. Do not argue me. Hashtag Steiner math.
Don't at me on that.
The next segment we had, we had this match with the Bar and Uso. I mean, it was a good match. It's always a good match, but we've seen it 25,000 times. But Mandy Rose ended up coming out in the world's biggest towel, and she asked Jimmy, "Hey, have you seen my gold trunks? Have you seen it?" That caused a distraction. I'm not sure how this match. I know the Bar won. I'm not exactly how the ending sequence, but we end up going backstage and we see that, oh my goodness, she takes off the world's biggest towel, and hey, look, she had a gold stuff on the entire time.
Oh my God.
Distraction.
Oh, man.
But Naomi wasn't having none of that. Naomi went back there,
Do you think
snatched
that
ass ball.
people are fantasizing more of that kind of angle is working? That the towel, think of her in the towel as opposed to just seeing her in something
Here's the thing.
less than the towel.
It could really work, and it could really work. You just gotta do it better.
I think they need to.
All these angles, they're okay, but
If they're gonna go that
it could
angle,
be great.
they gotta stop leaning into PG. You can't do an angle like
no,
that.
I
in
think you
PG.
can. I think you
don't
can.
so.
No.
I think you can do an angle with PG because
You know what? Because back in the Attitude Era, if she was in that towel, she was in a thong or a bra and a bra under that or less.
I mean that's really gonna tie on to this week's SmackDown with the angle they could have done. Honestly, they could have done an angle 100 times better. I think they could do it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on
I like
Sunday,
what they're
but-
doing, but they could do better. They need an acting consultant back there. They do. They just need an acting consultant. Not on the acting front, just the storyline wise. Just some things just don't make
Yeah.
sense. But anyway, we'll get there. We'll get there. But Naomi attacked both Mandy and Sonya Deville, and she was handling both of them. I'll say that she was actually handling both of them.
She was taking the hits.
Yo,
Oh yeah,
She was.
Sonya Deville was giving it
She
to her, too.
went took crazy on them. She
And-
even threw her shoes. She was like, you know
Facts.
what?
And
It's
then,
on. It's like, yo, okay.
Jimmy broke it up, and then the Miz came out there before the bar left, and then he challenged him. He said, "Hey, me and my bestie, the best tag team in the world, Shane McMahon and the Miz, we're gonna challenge you to a match." And he did, and the bar accepted with a bro kick.
Shane has no memory of that.
Yeah, he probably didn't after that. 'Cause that was a stiff. Because they put the picture up on Instagram. That was a stiff bro kick. I mean, right there
You
in
know
his
what
face.
I think
Right there in his face. He just caught him. Bow,
about that
bow.
Miz bestie shit, best in
Yo,
the world?
I like that storyline. The only reason why I don't like that storyline, I know it's heavy.
You absolutely, undoubtedly, unquestionably, 100% completely suck.
I don't mind it. It's
Why
I
is
don't like
Miz
it.
not getting geared towards a world title run?
I don't know.
I don't understand this.
I don't know.
Oh, it's
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I just don't get it. Like,
I don't necessarily like that.
Miz was one of the biggest people. Now you got him tagging with Shane McMahon.
They wanted
That's a
to-
waste of tag spot. That's a waste of Miz.
Well, if they are gonna do Daniel Bryan versus The Miz at WrestleMania, you can't do. They don't want to do heel versus heel. They don't want to do heel versus heel.
But it seems less likely now.
It does seem
I
less
feel like
likely.
it
I
seems
think we're
less
gonna get Shane
likely.
McMahon versus The Miz at WrestleMania, which gosh,
It's not needed.
It's not
It's
needed.
not needed.
We don't need it. Delete. But
Less of
anyway,
that. Word.
Shane and Miz are backstage, and you know, The Miz is trying to convince Chase. I mean, it is what it is. But throughout the night, we had 3 sit-down interviews with Carmella, Charlotte, and Becky, and it was really awesome because they did like these. They weren't staring at the camera. It was an off-site interview, and it was very real. It was like the UFC interviews. It gave a very big match fight feel. It was the main event of the night, and Carmella was like, you know, people just think I was just like a transitional champion. People just think I'm this, I'm that, I'm better in the ring. Really putting herself over, and it was very believable. Charlotte was like, you know, I'm not in anybody's shadow. I'm the best. I'm tired of saying I'm not the best, and I am the best. And Becky she's the man. Nothing more to be said.
The man.
She is the man. It was a great match. Fast-paced match with a lot of near falls that Becky ended up beating Carmella with the disarmer. Asuka comes out at the end in a great SmackDown. And that's how we end the A show.
The
I'm
B show.
gonna keep putting that over because
6-0.
SmackDown is the A show.
6-0.
6-1.
Yes.
One thing,
6-0.
here's Raw always comes out with something to talk about, but a lot of times Raw show is very meh. SmackDown constantly has good shows, but sometimes they don't have something to talk about after. Like, this is a great show, but the only thing really come out after that
You know
is
what I'm happy about this
Asuka-
SmackDown?
Asuka and
I didn't see a
Becky
grown
come out.
man pulling pancakes on his balls. That's what I'm glad I didn't see this SmackDown. Less of that.
that.
The B show. 6-0. 6-0.
That's fair. We all know what A
Now
show is.
transferring from the B show, we're gonna go to the 205 show. 205 Live.
Oh, man.
And we start off with Noam Dar versus Tony Nese. And Nese does a great springboard moonsault. Noam Dar does a guillotine with the body scissors, but Nese reverses it to a great Northern Light suplex. That was a great spot right there.
Yeah, I like the last
More
one.
about it.
So Nese does his signature pump handle slam and drags Noam Dar to the turnbuckle to, I'm guessing, do like an elbow as such. But Noam Dar out of nowhere gets a roll up pin for the upset victory. It was a pretty good match. I liked it. I need more of that.
You know what I'm talking about.
So after that, we get a promo. Kendrick is backstage reading a letter from Tozawa saying that he'll beat Buddy Murphy. Kendrick says that since he screwed Tozawa when he first came in, that he owes it to him to make him the cruiserweight champion. So we'll see.
Kendrick
Yep.
wants to make Tozawa the cruiserweight champion.
Yeah, just because he owes it to him.
The older when they first
So he shaves the
came in-
beard and becomes a good guy.
Yeah. He looks like a good
Yeah.
guy too. He looks like
He looks
He,
weird.
he looks like
honestly.
Spanky.
He looks like back in the days, Brian
He
Kendrick.
looks like that guy, Spanky, back in the
Yeah,
day.
that's his spanky look.
It looks weird.
So after that, Gulak and Gentleman Jack are backstage, and they give Drake a list of wrestlers that should be on 205 Live. Drake just throws the list away. No respect for the
No respect.
list.
Man.
No respect for the list.
You know what happens when you don't respect someone's list?
What happens?
You get put on the list. Where's that pen at? Who took?
Sam G.
I'm sure he's pissed off about that one. So anyways, Mike Bennett appears and says it's been 5 since Mike was wrestling on 205 Live. Maria says he hopes these new cruiserweights that Drake is searching out for can fight as good as Mike can. So then it transitions to Leo Rush doing a video saying that Kalisto didn't win, the loser house party did, and Leo says Kalisto needs to cheat to beat him and doesn't deserve to be in the fatal 4-way, and that Lucha House Party will feel the rush. I think Leo's getting better with his promos and such. He's a 24-year-old piece of gold, the man of the hour.
He always been fired with the promos.
He's doing great with the
Finally
promos.
wearing a shirt.
Yeah,
Finally wearing a shirt.
finally.
Yeah, because Leo Rush, he's not in the Fatal 4-way that's gonna happen, right?
No, he got
He got eliminated, right?
yeah, because
Wasn't that his first loss?
No, I believe that was his second loss.
Second loss?
Yeah, Cedric Alexander gave him his first loss.
Okay.
So the next match is the main event, which is Cedric versus Hideo, and the winner of this match.
This is a cracking match. I've seen this match.
Well, the winner of this match goes to the Fatal 4-Way and
Damn.
the Royal Rumble for the Cruiserweight Championship on the pre-show.
Yo,
Definitely on the pre-show.
Definitely gonna be a pre-show.
Definitely on the
Did
pre-show.
you did you get any of the spots out of it? Like there was this match.
I got
This
a
match
lot of
was.
notes.
This is one of the best matches on TV this
this-
week.
This match is one of the reasons why you should be watching 205
Facts,
Live
facts.
on the WWE Network for only $9.99 a month.
Good
A free-
cheap plug. Good.
a free-
Good G.
Free your first
Right.
month for all new subscribers.
So if you subscribe today,
Yeah,
you get to
know,
watch
shut-
Royal
shut-
Rumble for
shut
free.
your face.
So Hideo started off with a quick. So Hideo comes out with the
That
Vari.
was such a good plug. Shut your goddamn. That was such a good plug. It made me angry. He even added, you get the free month for new subscribers. I'm sorry.
Take notes. Take
Take
notes.
notes. Take
Take
notes,
notes.
please. Take notes and count the sins. Count the sins.
You don't like.
Should we plug Honor Club at this point? Can we plug Honor Club too?
Yes.
Can we
Yes.
plug Honor Club? You gotta have your phone. Plug Honor Club.
On a club.
Just-
Honor
I feel
Club
like we should
for
plug everybody.
$9.99. Ring of Honor.
But Honor Club does
And-
give you a lot of cool shit though.
They give you a lot of cool shit. They'll give you the pre-sale for the tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exclusive matches. You do get a lot of cool stuff.
You
with-
get
with-
the news
yeah.
You
updates.
get the pay-per-views from CMLL2.
Yeah, so they
So,
got a lot of stuff.
good.
They got a lot of cool stuff going on in there. They got a lot of cool stuff going on
And
there.
don't forget New Japan World for only $9.
Hey. Yo, that's my shit. Yeah, definitely. New
Just
Japan
plugging
World.
everything. Just
You plugging. Is there anything else to plug? You can watch Rev Pro and Defiant on free on YouTube.
You could watch MLW.
MLW always puts
IM
us up on.
Sports.
Ain't
Or
it-
IB Sports. Something like IB.
I think it's
See, we even plugging shit that we don't even know about.
It's
Right?
yeah.
So something like that.
Yeah, because
I would watch it.
Celerina Del Renta, she like owns like part of it. That's all I was trying to get her for. That's why she was fun. I don't know why she funded it. She funded it.
He lied.
I'm calling it live.
you could just find everything.
Selena Del
online.
Renta, you fronted. Like you said, you give us the interview, and you didn't. I'm calling a spade. You fronted.
Ooh.
And she did. I don't know why she
You
did.
know what happens?
You know what I'm saying?
This
You know
is
what I'm
a
saying? She fronted on
legitimate.
us.
This is a legitimate
This is
list.
legitimate. That's a legitimate list. Like
Where's the real list?
she was
at?
asking questions, and she said.
Yeah, yeah.
She said the fans can ask us any questions, and I asked
There you go.
Selena Del Renta, Selena Del Renta for an interview, and she said yes. Email me. I emailed her twice, DM'd her, added her, and she just never answered back. She said she would do yes in an interview.
Man, don't commit to something.
That's what I'm
Don't say
saying.
you do something.
You said you would do it.
Keep
That's
it
what I'm
above.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Keep it straight.
Yeah,
you
just
know?
keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? I could have said, no, I'm a big boy. I'm an actor. I get rejected a lot. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's
I have to
fine.
walk off on Selena Del Renta.
You gotta walk. See, you gotta walk off.
I gotta walk
Damn.
off.
I'm not gonna put her on the list.
I gotta
I'm not gonna put her on the
You know
list because
what?
I want her to actually, give us an interview so I can put her on the list.
Oh, he's giving you a free.
Yeah. Cause ain't she sexy? She fine. Motherfucker. You pick on that one. I got a soft spot for some of it. And you know who her homies is? Tessa. You know what I'm saying? You know I got soft spot. Alright. You're right.
So let's get back to this match.
Let's get back to this match. Thank you.
Alright, so the match started with a quick pace. Davari interferes whenever he can. Hideo goes for hard strikes. I guess Alexander leading on the second rope. Hideo goes for a second rope leg drop to the back of Cedric's neck. Alexander
Here.
gets the second win and gets strikes of his own. He hits him with a flatline, but Hideo kicks him out as 2. Hideo goes for the top rope, hits him with the tornado DDT that hangs Alexander on the top rope. That was pretty good. Alexander goes for a springboard, but Hideo literally smacks the dog shit out of him.
He does.
And then he just falls to the ground. That right there should be a gif right there.
Yo, it probably is. If you Google it, it probably is a gift.
And then that sets up the ring apron Falcon Arrow to the floor. That definitely hurt. And mind you, nobody ever kicks out of the Falcon Arrow.
Nobody.
Nobody. I never seen it.
Wasn't it when there was one more move that nobody ever kicks out of too? What was it?
I don't know.
We had an ongoing joke. There was another move that nobody kicks out of.
I forgot.
I forgot. Yeah, it was one move, but yeah, definitely nobody kicks out of the Falcon Arrow.
So anyways, Alexander almost gets counted out. Hideo hits him with 2 basement drop kicks, and he hits him with the swinging code breaker for the win. Hideo goes to the Fatal 4-Way at the Royal Rumble pre-show.
So who do we have in the Fatal 4-Way?
We have Buddy Murphy.
But the champion.
We have Hideo.
Hideo Itami.
We have Kalisto.
Kalisto.
And we have. Who do we have?
Somebody just qualified tonight. Not tonight. Somebody just qualified.
Who?
And then you just go over who qualified. No, you qualified. I think was that this week's too? No, they already got the 4. They already got the people that submitted to the match. Kalisto, Buddy Murphy, the champion. Hideo Itami.
Hideo.
And not Tony Nese. No, it wasn't Tony.
Who was it?
Nese.
Tony Nese.
No, it was.
Former champion,
Tozawa. God damn it. Yeah, Tozawa.
God damn it.
Ha. Yeah, sorry.
Jay, we're gonna have to edit that out.
Nah. What did JR say? No, Olafa. Sorry, pal.
We're live. Sorry, folks.
Let me get that one. I'm sorry, pal. Olafa.
Is that Naito? No, that's Tanahashi.
God damn it.
You know what happens? You're correct, JR.
Oh God.
Yo, I love JR.
Alright, are we going?
I love JR.
No.
But on New Japan Pro Wrestling,
I'm just gonna.
when he calling New Japan Pro Wrestling, JR, I love you, brother, but I'm putting you on the list. JR, you just made the list. Sorry, JR. Good old JR.
So after the match, Buddy's in the back looking pleased that Hideo won. He congratulates Hideo, says that every opponent is cheap and he's the wolf and he's gonna have an open challenge next week, not for the championship, but to prove him wrong. And that's how 205 ends.
Are we going over to NXT land?
And now that I overheard someone made the list other than Selena Dorenta, I'm back.
Nah, I didn't put her on the list.
You didn't put her on the list?
He has a soft spot.
That's what
He fickle.
What?
Walk off on
Trying to get that interview, fam. Trying to get this interview, fam. I ain't trying to put her on the list. Hey. Nah, man. When she comes on the show, I'm gonna put her on the list.
The list of his contacts.
Yeah.
So anyways, let's get to 205. I mean, not 205.
How well I know
NXT.
my co-host.
NXT, yeah.
NXT.
NXT.
Wait. You can't.
NXT is on my list.
It's always Matt that always falls.
It is always Matt. NXT is. Did I put NXT?
Okay, I
It's like
forgive her.
AJ.
I forgive her.
NXT is on my list of
I
things.
thought about it. I forgive her.
Yeah, NXT is on my list of things to look out for in 2019.
Yes,
The whole NXT class.
So Gargano comes out for a promo, says that in 2019 he will be champion. Says him and Tommaso will never, ever happen again. And talks about how Tommaso says that Johnny should go for the North American Championship. And how Ricochet said that if Johnny wants to smoke, he knows where to find it.
Facts.
So
He specifically said that
No,
he
he
wants
did.
to smoke?
Yeah.
so Gargano tells him if he wants to take his North American Championship, he'll do it. So Ricochet comes out automatically.
Facts.
Less than a second later.
In a nice-
He was listening to that.
In a very nice suit, I might as well.
Very nice suit.
Yeah.
Very nice
That's
suit.
a champion.
That's a champion right
That's
there. Clap it
a
up for that man.
champion.
But will he
That's
leave?
a champion.
But will he leave with that suit still looking fresh? That's my question.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Foreshadowing.
Damn.
No, go ahead.
That was a giant fall.
That was such a foreshadowing that it dropped the phone.
Facts. Exactly.
So, anyways, he asked Johnny if he's gonna take it from him behind in the parking lot. Low blows. Crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Callbacks.
and tells him that he's gonna be keeping the championship at NXT Takeover Phoenix. So Tommaso comes out, and Johnny tells him to shut up and leave. Aleister Black comes out on screen and tells Tommaso that at NXT Takeover Phoenix, he will make him fade to black. Lights cut out, lights come back on. Aleister attacks Tommaso, almost pushes him through the announce table. And then out of nowhere, Johnny super kicks Ricochet.
Yeah, it was dope the way he did it because it was just like all that commotion happened, and then Johnny Wrestling just turned back and looked at Ricochet, was just like,
Blah.
you might as well, bah, super kick, just like that. It was like, well, you're here, so yeah, more of that.
And now we have a wrinkle suit.
Yeah, actually, you know what? He might not because he fell straight back. Like he was a
Gotta protect my suit.
Stiff. Like this.
Stiff. Yeah. He sold that grip.
Can't wiggle it.
Yeah, he sold that grip.
You know how much dry pressing there is?
Super dry pressing.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
it's Ricochet.
So the next match will be Bianca Belair versus Nikki Cross.
On the beat.
Can you guys tell me what Bianca Belair's record is? She's
Undefeated.
what is Bianca Belair? She's
On the beat.
if you guys didn't know that, Bianca Belair is undefeated. It's just
S.
the S.
She's the
The
EST.
She's the S. She's the EST.
S.
Yeah, she's the strongest, the fastest, the best, the quickest.
Future
The futurist.
NXT Women's Champion.
Championist.
S.
Yeah.
The championess.
She's the
She's the
championess.
championess.
She's
of
the
the
championess.
champions.
She's EST, so, you know. You know what
That's
I'm
my
saying?
prediction.
I like the spot where Bianca did a gorilla press slam and
girl
a
was strong.
standing moonsault right afterwards.
Yes, that girl's strong. She's getting better in the ring, too.
You see, it's just out of just like
Boom, work.
God, doing that work. Then out of
Work.
nowhere, there's a like that. That's a lot of working out you gotta do just to pull those two moves
I
off.
mean, look at her.
Right after another.
I mean, look at it.
Nah, seriously, like, yo, Bianca Belair is jacked, yo.
Nah, she got abs for days.
And
Facts,
then
bro.
after that, she gave an impressive vertical suplex, even though Nikki reversed it, and then into like a swinging fisherman suplex. But that vertical suplex.
Yeah, she kicked out of Nikki's finish.
Yeah, and then so yeah, Bianca rolled out the ring. They fight outside the ring, but Becky slams Nikki on the ramp. At the end of the day, Bianca wins.
That's what she does. And that was Nikki Cross's last match at NXT.
Yep.
Yeah,
You
man.
know who's
Congratulations.
in their last run?
Thank you, Nikki.
You know who's in their last run? I didn't get to talk about it in the news.
What?
Victoria. This is her last year in wrestling. She's
Oh.
officially retiring this year.
Oh.
She should just go to AEW and make some money.
I you know what's funny? I posted on her IG and I said one last run in WWE or AEW, and she actually liked it.
Oh yeah, I seen it. Yeah, you posted that in the group chat. Yeah.
So she
yeah.
probably,
Yeah.
you know, she probably would.
He
She's
was throwing it
probably
in our
open.
faces in the group chat. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get
Yeah, you
recognition
have
for
to.
the podcast is a good thing.
Yeah. More
recognition
More of
that.
that.
More
you
of
know,
that. More of that.
More of that.
So-
More of that.
After the match, we see a promo with Street Profits saying that they're coming after all the tag teams, and they also never lost.
Yeah, and they're the Evolved Tag Team champions.
undefeated.
Nah, Street Profits aren't undefeated, but they're the Evolved Tag Team champions. They don't talk. I don't know why they're not talking. Maybe we might start to see more Evolved stuff crossover into main continuity NXT stuff.
That's a different universe.
But yeah, that's true. I would love to see the Street Profits come up, but I think honestly, I think the Undisputed Era are gonna really lock down NXT this year. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think NXT is gonna.
By all means, they should. If they haven't been called up yet,
They
by
don't-
all means, they should.
I don't think they
All
should.
of them should be wearing gold.
I think that's gonna happen in
They're
2019.
the only stable on there.
I think that's gonna happen in 2019.
So the next match is
Oh,
Fabian.
take that back. The three guys.
Forgotten Sons.
Who?
How ironic.
The Forgotten Sons.
Yeah,
We forget about the
forgot about the
Forgotten Sons.
Forgotten Sons.
We forget about the Forgotten Sons, people. What's going on to all the people on Instagram? Everybody say hi to people on Instagram. I might have to, you know what? Yeah, I might.
They can't even see me. How can they not see the queen?
I totally forgot the Forgotten Son.
Of course.
That is the perfect. Oh my God.
Foreshadowing.
I feel like somebody deserves to be on the list.
Yes, somebody. Oh wow.
2 people deserve to
We
be
have
on the
people
list.
looking at the ceiling.
Hey man.
So we're officially putting Richie on the list
Listen.
today.
For what?
For the technical difficulties.
You're going on the list. And AJ's going on the list for forgetting the Forgotten Sons.
What?
Yeah.
That's literally their gimmick.
How you forget?
That's literally the gimmick. Forget the Forgotten Sons. Like, but I did forget the Forgotten Sons.
That shouldn't be forgotten, man.
I mean, it's forget is the
They
first
forgot.
thing in their name.
But you literally forgot.
Yeah, I proved their gimmick works.
You just made the list. I don't want to hear it.
I proved their gimmick works.
I guess it'd be like that sometimes,
It's-
man.
Yeah.
Don't argue with me.
Oh
All right.
Lord.
The next match is Fabian Aichner versus and Marcel Barthel versus Kunzman and Watts. Barthel is a very talented great submission artist, and Watts gets tagged in. He looks like he's probably like 130 pounds and such. Aichner gets tagged in and throws. Yeah, it's a squash match. I just want to point out that Aether and Barthel are a great tag team together. They do they win with the powerbomb to a German suplex pin.
They're proper foreign heels.
Yeah.
They're proper foreign heels. Like the WWE and NXT, like they do like heels. Oh, they're just foreign guys. No, they're proper 90s vibe foreign heel. Like, I don't like these guys. But
And
damn it,
they-
they're good in the ring.
They were also in NXT UK as well, so
Oh, yeah, I think they're definitely.
it was in the tournament.
That's one of the things that Triple H talked about in Inside the Ropes that we're going to see, and we are actually going to see at Royal Rumble Access. We're going to see NXT UK 205 Live Clash more, which is awesome. We're definitely going to start to see. They're actually doing a tournament. Wow, we didn't even talk about the news. They're doing a tournament at Royal Rumble Access with 3 teams. I don't think it's 3 teams. I know it's wrestlers from NXT, wrestlers from from NXT UK, and wrestlers from 205 Live, and they're doing like a tournament through like Royal Rumble like Access weekend, and we're going to see that more. So.
Okay.
Pretty awesome. Definitely more of that.
So afterwards, Keith Lee calls out Cassius Ohno backstage.
Yeah, my man Keith Lee bask in his glory. That's my guy right there. I gotta put him over.
The next match is EC3 in his last match in NXT against
EC3.
Adam Cole.
Baby.
Adam Cole,
Baby.
baby.
So Adam Cole, of
Baby.
course, comes out with the Undisputed Era, and they interrupt a lot and such. Cole wins via distraction from the Undisputed Era. The Undisputed Era jump EC3. The War Raiders come out to make the save. The War Raiders beat up the whole Undisputed Era, and the Undisputed Era retreats to the back to end the show.
And this will lead that we I think.
And
I
that
think
was the last time
officially-
you see EC3 and the War
NXT.
Raiders in NXT.
I think that then after that officially got announced that we're gonna see War Raiders Undisputed or at NXT Phoenix. I think there was another
Yep.
match that got made official that night too. No,
It was
Johnny Wrestling versus Ricochet for the North American
Oh,
Championship.
And
they're
Bianca
really
Belair.
going heavy into that DIYs together as heels thing.
Oh, they're working house shows. Yeah, they did house shows.
That's crazy.
Yeah, more of that.
a lot of
You
us
know
fans
what
want
happened when Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano go up to the main roster? They literally just need to restart their story all over again on the main roster and do nothing different. Nothing different. Have them come in there as a tag team to the cruiserweight. I mean, you can have a cruiserweight, but have a tournament where they fight because they even hinted at them like in a cruiserweight championship match when they had that match. Like you could see it, like it looked like Ciampa was gonna turn on them after like Johnny Wrestling won the match and like for a second like the way Ciampa looked at him was like, yo, he's about to turn on them. And he came and he hugged him, but. So they just need to do the same.
That literally
thing.
was the start, though.
That was the start.
literally
that
the
was
start.
just that little look. Just that little
Like,
look.
damn, you passed me here,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're passing me because I'm injured, and now you're
Mhm.
getting shine without me.
Storytelling, people. That's why I give the WWE so much shit because they can do it. That's why I give them so much shit. Like, you can do it. You could. This is one of the best stories in wrestling. Forget NXT. This is one of the best stories. It's been on for almost like 2 years now.
Yeah.
I don't
Like-
I don't knock the way you critique
Awesome.
WWE is understood. I just say give them credit while they're doing
Oh, I give
it,
them credit.
as opposed to after it's done.
You see, I call it the A show. You know, I love the A show. I call it SmackDown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, SmackDown.
Now they do a good on. Now they do a good on Raw. When we talk about on Sunday, there was some aspects of this Raw that was awesome,
Yeah.
but there was some that was just like fucking crikey, man. What are you doing? Those NXT, those NXT call up piss me off. All right, that's it. I'm throwing the mic down. Not
So
really.
what about the NXT
Damn.
call-ups piss you off?
EC3 makes his debut by literally.
But it was in a segment that
Explain
the whole
it.
locker room,
Justify this.
the whole locker room
With a bunch of bozos, with the B team.
The whole
I love
locker-
Apollo
the
Crews,
whole
but
locker room
Apollo
was
Crews,
there.
But it makes them look like losers, though. It makes
No.
EC3 look loser.
It's everybody vying for a shot. The only people left out were the people who were actually in the Fatal 4-Way.
I'm gonna fantasy book this real quick. EC3 should have been. Baron Corbin should have been in there. EC3 should have been in there. No, he shouldn't have won, but that's a great way to put a guy over. EC3 would have been there
Yeah,
for
I
the
mean,
4-way. He loses,
I
but it's
honestly,
like that's
I
not
honestly
that guy.
don't want Baron Corbin getting as much the spots that he has been
I
getting,
like
especially
Baron
coming off of GM. I think he needs to earn it again.
I like
I
Baron
don't think
Corbin.
I mean,
should-
if you think
I like
about
I don't
it,
think he
I
should
mean-
go thrust straight into main event matches because
And you know what it is? The NXT call-ups haven't really been placed in any show.
they haven't. They literally said on TV the call-ups are being tested on the shows before they get placed anywhere.
but the only one that actually had a match on
So,
TV
Nikki.
was Nikki Cross
Oh.
on both
And
brands
then we
already.
just see.
Nikki's going to SmackDown.
We just-
They're
Of course, they're not
just-
gonna split up Saturday,
Yeah.
but still,
Yeah,
it's
so-
like
you never know.
And then
That's what they did with Carmella and Enzo. And
it worked out.
And it worked. It
It
worked for
out
both
great.
of them.
I think for
The only one who didn't get anything out of it was freaking big trash. I mean, big cash.
I think he got injured at the wrong time too. They were giving him a push. He just got injured. At the wrong time.
He wasn't good though.
his mic skill was horrible.
Trash.
True.
He would always
Hot.
be down.
But
Hot
here's the thing.
every time he talked.
His
But here's the thing.
Like,
when
how you
they,
feel about that, Enzo? How you feel about that, Enzo? Looking at the
but
floor.
when they were giving Big Cash that push,
You know
he
what
was,
I
he was
think
popular. He was a
About
face.
Enzo's, not Enzo, about Big Cass's mic skills.
The train has no memory.
But this was during the time when this bada boom, tallest guy, biggest guy, in the, he was relying on all that. So it was fun. This was like face
No, it was
Enzo
fun. That
and
was
all
all.
that.
That's why I feel like a lot of people
all
don't give credit to Enzo where it's due.
They need to. Yeah.
His
Enzo.
little scandal that he was innocent of.
Exactly.
Aside, he was doing big things. His attitude aside, you know what? That attitude was bringing eyes because people who weren't even watching wrestling, people in like the hip hop community,
Yep.
people, in Enzo's scene, he was hanging around a lot of stars. He was bringing more eyes to the brand, and
Facts.
he brought 205 Live to elevated status when it was in its infancy. So they need to give Enzo credit where he's due. I think he should be back in WWE, not even AEW, because he was
I don't think
one of the guys
I don't think AEW would.
sign him, but I think WWE owes him.
Yeah.
I
He
think
has been
owes
showing
him,
up on
but-
some of the events though.
But it's the way he acted after, and it was his attitude backstage and before. I think if he was like a cool guy
You know what?
backstage before, I don't think
more
that,
people need Enzo's attitude. I'm a go-getter. I'm good at this. I'm gonna go out there and do it. And what he did just that.
I've never met Enzo in real life. I have spoken to him during FaceTime. Shout out to my man Sauce in LA, platinum producer. Not dead serious, it really is. He produced Enzo, but I talked to him on there. But the thing was, from hearing from other wrestlers, they were like, the character you see on TV is the guy that you get all the time. And I can imagine that shit get really annoying all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, if
I
you-
mean, I get that too,
you
but
know what I'm saying? Like,
also,
but I
back
feel
in the days,
that
would you
go-getter.
tell Macho Man, hey, cut that shit out while the camera's off? Freak out. Let me see somebody tell Hogan in his prime, stop that brother gimmick shit while the cameras are off. Let me see anybody tell any of those guys back then about turning off their character. Let me see somebody go up to Undertaker and say, you're not the dead man outside.
I mean, I hear it.
Like,
Gosh, man, you Enzo, Macho, Hogan.
it's character. It's kayfabe. It's kayfabe.
Yeah, I dig it. No,
I feel like
That's
there's
true, that's
certain
true, that's
things
true.
in wrestling from back then, the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, that of laws of wrestling that should be fucking upheld. And kayfabe is one of them.
I mean, but do you want a
And
guy asking you how
if he
you
was
doing?
blurring the lines between who he really is as a person, those are the characters that transition the best on TV.
But back
The ones that would be like, oh, yeah, Enzo's that little douchey asshole in the freaking club that, I would bump into, you know? The funny thing is, Enzo's really not even a bad guy.
I think that's all great, but I think
This
you
all
know,
stemmed from NXT, by the way.
this all stems from NXT. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He
yeah.
had a reputation. It is what it is.
I want to say we have a couple new viewers on Facebook. Hi.
Hey, what's going on? We got
Let's check you
Facebook.
out.
We're live on IG. We're live on
We got like
YouTube.
360
We got
experience
everything.
right
We got
now.
everything
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, we're gonna
Check us out on everything. YouTube, Facebook, IG, Kayfabe app, at the SmackDown Hotel.
Yeah.
Let's get into NXT UK.
Woo!
NXT UK.
Yo.
Wait,
I
I gotta get comfortable for this one because this was amazing.
Are we talking about Blackpool?
Not
We're
yet.
talking about
Not
the main
yet.
show.
Not yet. We're talking about the main show.
But not yet.
Let's
But
just
not yet.
back
We're
up.
gonna
Let's
we're gonna
back
get into
Nah, the
that.
reason why I was ranting, I thought we were done. That's why I was ranting like that. My
Nah.
bad. That's why I was ranting like that. Yeah.
Nah, man, you gotta be
Nah.
all inclusive. You can't
My
forget
bad.
about NXT
Everything.
UK.
So,
Going down the line.
I still got Homecoming. I'm gonna go to that quick though.
alright.
And we still got Ring of Honor.
So NXT UK starts off with Ligero versus Joseph Connor. Ligero uses his quickness and agility to get the upper hand early in the match. Connors eventually gets the upper hand with his ruthlessness. Ligero tries to gain momentum with a back body drop. Ligero gives a Death Valley driver for a 2 count. Ligero also hits with a springboard tornado DDT for the win. It was a great match. Love Ligero.
Tornado
He's
DDT.
just like El
Just
Generico of
picture
NXT UK.
Nice. Just picture that in my head. It's just awesomeness for
Yeah.
me.
Springboard tornado DDT for the win. The next segment we have James Drake and Zach Gibson. And if you hate Zach Gibson, take your shoes off. Because you know I definitely
I don't have
do.
a shoe
Wait.
that's readily available.
There you go.
Take your boots off too.
Oh, there you go. See,
There
my,
you go.
my guests provide. My guests provide. Shouts out to Sam G.
There we go.
Yeah, we have a
If
guest.
you hate Zap, get shin, shoes off. Yo, did you hear that crowd?
Oh,
They were
yeah.
fucking. Oh
Rowdy.
God, I want to go to UK.
I would say the
Audience.
exact same thing. I would
Oh my
love to be
day.
in the audience at
You think
And
NXT
drink with them,
UK.
too.
you think we're loud in New York?
Oh.
No.
Here, they're louder than us here, like the Barclays and stuff. They're louder than us. They
Yes.
chant the entire time. I'm sorry.
And you know what it is? And every venue that they have, it's just the acoustics just like echoes everything, so you can hear everything
Facts.
loud and
They
clear.
have like a lot of unique chants. They have so many unique chants. Like,
So, anyways, back to the segment.
Whose camera is that?
huh?
The back one on the throne.
What happened? That's my.
Whose phone is that?
Why?
They cut you completely off.
I know,
I
right?
didn't
Like
mean to, I'm sorry.
I'm here, guys. Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
I'm so sorry.
There's
Like-
no kayfabe queen on his IG.
No, there's
on
not.
the phone of the Iron Throne.
Hence why he's on the list.
I'm like, but where's the rest?
Can I put him on the list twice?
Yes, you actually.
No, but
can.
you're on it though. You're on it now.
For different
Look.
reasons. You can put them on the same list for different reasons.
So, anyways, James says that
Ooh, it's the
that they
queen.
are undefeated in NXT UK and deserve to be champions. Zach says they already cleared a spot on their mantle for the NXT UK Tag Team Championship, and they will prove that they are the best not only on the brand but of the world.
Foreshadowing.
Yep, foreshadowing. So the next match is Travis Banks, the Kiwi Buzzsaw versus Tyson Bone, accompanied by Zaxxon Huxley. Huxley distracts Banks so Tyson can get momentum early on. Banks fights back and gives Tyson a double foot stomp in the corner. Jordan Devlin comes out and comes out looking like Travis Banks to taunt him and play mind games with the Kiwi Buzzsaw, Travis Banks. Tyson tries to take advantage, but Banks makes him pay for it with leg swipes and Shining Wizard. Banks wins with a second rope enziguri after the match. Devlin tries to attack Banks, but Banks overcomes him, and Devlin retreats to the back. They're gonna have a match at the NXT UK Takeover Blackpool, which is what I'll get into after this.
Still some
Next
more
match.
foreshadowing.
So for the main event for NXT UK, which is Gallus, which is Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang versus the British Strong Style, which everybody knows is Mustache Mountain, Trent Seven, and Tyler Bate, and Pete Dunne.
Oh.
They could do that because they have a mustache. It's nothing
So,
here.
I don't even bother because my mustache don't even twirl that way. It don't even twirl that
So,
way.
so Gallus versus
The
British
beard,
talks out.
beard. Twirl the beard.
Yeah.
Twirl the beard if you have it.
So this was a great match. This is a reason why people should be watching NXT UK.
Definitely, I did see
Um,
some main event.
It was basically an all-out brawl. I mean, well, it didn't start out as an all-out brawl. They teased it throughout the match that there was gonna be an all-out brawl. And when the all-out brawl happened,
It was
you
worth the
know,
build.
it was great.
Yeah.
It was an overwhelming assault by all three members of Gallus. Trent Seven got hurled into the steel ring steps by Joe Coffey. And then wore back with monster superplex on the Iron King Joe Coffey. Pete Dunne locked Wolfgang and Mark Coffey in a back-to-back submission maneuver, and I saw one of the longest airplane spins by the former WWE UK champion Tyler Bate.
Was that when he had the double spot, or am I thinking of?
You thinking of the NXT?
Am I thinking of Liverpool when he had? Okay,
Yeah.
my bad.
So, and then there's a wicked power bomb by Joe Coffey that almost pulled away the bruiserweight. A cork to Centron sent out by Tyler Bate off the ring post into the ringside floor, which took out everybody out. Well, at the end of it, Joe Coffey hits the best of the bells on Tyler Bate to give Gallus this huge victory, giving Joe Coffey the momentum going into Blackpool.
La Café.
Oh my gosh, this NXT takeover Blackpool was
And-
rocking. Damn.
Now we're gonna talk about NXT UK Takeover Blackpool.
Were you-
Blackpool.
Now I'm not gonna give too many details. Ask me why.
Why?
Why?
Because
Why?
you should
Why?
be watching this
Why?
on the WWE Network for $9.99 a month. Free month for new subscribers?
Yes.
Free month for new subscribers. You
Gotcha.
should be watching this. It was a great pay-per-view.
It
I would
was.
just run down the results real quick. Maybe give 1 or 2 details. NXT, first off, the NXT Tag Team Championship match. Zach Gibson and James Drake versus Trent Seven and Tyler Bate, Mustache Mountain. Mustache Mountain had British Bulldog inspired gear.
Yes, they did.
Great,
Yes,
great.
they did.
Awesome.
The end came when Gibson and Drake hit Trent Seven with a ticket to Mayhem to win the match to become the first NXT UK Tag Team Champions.
But this match was like at least 30 minutes.
Yeah.
This
It
was
is
a
a
great
classic.
match.
Plus he
tag
got
team
injured.
match.
You
Plus he
gotta,
got
like I
injured.
said,
Who got injured?
you gotta watch it.
Who?
I mean, every match went pretty long.
Are
They let a lot,
Trent Seven.
they let a lot of
Yeah.
people actually
With
get a
that,
good
with
run.
he got hit in the back of his head and started bleeding.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He started bleeding in the back of his head.
Do you not want to go into detail on it because you want to go into detail on Sunday?
I mean, the thing is, I don't want to go into detail because I feel that everybody should watch this.
Yeah,
I don't
but
want to.
then
I don't
not,
want
man.
to
This
spoil
is a-
everything, and then people don't go
But there's a
watch
few
it.
This was
spots.
a
was a
beautiful,
But there's a few
pay-per-view.
spots that people should
This
know
is
about
this
this. Are you
is
kidding me?
this is a top 5.
This showed exactly
Takeover.
exactly like I've been saying for a while. This is gonna show and prove what UK NXT has to offer and where they're going forward with it. Great fucking matches, back and forth. Great fucking.
There
matches.
were a lot. I mean, this is.
And
this
it felt-
is
it felt-
25,
if you
30
want
minutes.
to,
It felt like
see a
complete-
spot or two, you can go right ahead.
It felt
But
completely
I
different
don't
from
want to
regular
spoil.
NXTs too.
I don't want to spoil the spots that are in this pay per view because this pay per view was monumental. This was something that I would watch over and over again, and watching it for the first time, not knowing what's going into it, it was great.
Yeah,
It
because
was really, really
because the
great.
build for Liverpool wasn't exactly the best, but I mean they always deliver. There was a spot when Trent Seven was on his shoulders. I can't remember who's. I'm not sure if he was on James Drake's. James Drake.
It was not. Was that Gibson?
Zach, was he on Zach Gibson's shoulders, and he did like the LOD clothesline like on the outside.
Yeah.
There's so many big spots. Yeah, I don't want to dig deep.
No,
It's a lot.
what happened
It is
was
a
is
lot.
that Zach Gibson, he took James Drake off the ring apron, and then James Drake ran across the ring, did a dive
Yeah.
outside.
He dropped
Trent
the clothesline
Seven
and just
hit his
oh
head on the
my
ramp,
gosh.
started cutting. But like I
He
said,
did a
you
complete
guys gotta
flip.
watch it. You guys gotta watch it.
Only one more spot I'm going to talk about is when the big strong boy Tyler Bate, Tyler Bate. He had both Zach Gibson and James Drake swing him. One like swinging by the leg like the Cesaro swing. One on his back.
He's a strong boy.
It's a big strong boy right there. That's a big strong boy right there. And the
man.
chants, God damn it, are this crowd over? Oh my God. I have to go to a UK show.
Yeah.
That is a
Definitely.
wrestling goal.
You have to watch
This crowd was so over. This crowd was crazy.
And there wasn't a lot of people in the crowd.
They
It's
make
just
it.
overwhelming.
It sounds like it's a jam packed because they have
It's
unique
because it's a
chants.
small arena. It's like another Full Sail just in
Yeah.
UK. So
Yeah.
it's gonna
But
be.
still, it's like
And
They
they have
haven't done the
unique
arena
chants.
thing for them yet.
Yeah, they have unique chants too.
So the next thing we see this the backstage segment of earlier today when Jordan Devlin attacks the Kiwi Buzzsaw Travis Banks, injuring his knee.
Give him a proper beating.
So-
in the beginning.
Whatever, they gave him some time to heal. Devlin, they basically come out. Devlin attacked his original opponent, Travis Banks, and
Attacked,
he
Jordan
tried to get revenge, but Devlin basically just injured him again and injured his knee. So out comes Sid Scala and Johnny Saint, and he says, we had a feeling you was gonna do this, so we brought in our backup plan.
Ooh. And that crowd went crazy.
That's right. Finn Balor came to NXT UK to face
And-
the person that he trained.
Not only was he technically at home, but it felt like that's where he belonged. Like NXT
Yeah.
UK.
I would not be surprised to see.
I felt like, oh my God, this is kind of the Finn that I've been wanting to see for.
That's
No,
it.
that is exactly the feeling that you got. That is the feeling you got when Finn Balor came out. Like we see him week to week on Raw, but when he came out in that UK crowd, it was just like, man,
everybody
this
was
is-
living it.
this
It was
is
just
like-
like
This is
Your
the
whole-
Balor that came from NXT. This is Balor with his, I don't like to use this word. This is Balor with a swagger back. This is Balor. This is the cool. This is the pop your collar Balor. Like,
You
okay.
would have never got the hint that he's been in like up and down story like that. It was like, oh my God, this is a big return kind of feel, you know?
Yeah.
and knowing the fact that it was teacher versus student.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He trained them, so it's
He
like a
trained a
very
lot of
So yeah, this is
Interesting.
basically Finn Balor versus Finn Balor Jr.
Facts.
It was a great match, like I said.
Hard hitting. No way.
Hard hitting.
By no way a squash match at all.
It was
No, it was good.
It was basically its own self-contained blood feud.
Yeah.
Jordan Devlin basically wanted to get out of Finn Balor's shadow, and I feel he's done that even though he didn't win. Finn Balor picked up the win.
It was a lot of aggression
He
though.
looked good in the feet. Yeah, he looked
It
good
was
in
a
the feet.
lot of aggression.
Yeah, 'cause
like the
Jordan-
slaps, it was just like, oh, where's this?
British
coming
strong
from?
style.
It's like,
British strong style.
it's like
British
this is
strong
you.
style.
You don't belong here. This is
You
my
know
show.
who
Yeah.
else Finn Balor had a hand in training? Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
He's trained a lot of the people coming
Balor,
in.
man.
Especially the international stars that's coming in.
Even Becky
Balor.
Lynch.
And got the performance center too.
Best
so
around pound for pound. Extraordinary man do extraordinary things. Balor Club.
Becky?
Hopefully,
You talking about Finn Balor?
hopefully the future Universal Champion.
So the next match we have was Dave Masters.
No. I'm gonna say it. Paul Heyman says he doesn't give like dreams or he gives facts. This is a fact. In 2
He
weeks'
doesn't give
time,
predictions, he gives spoilers.
Finn Balor, yeah, he doesn't give predictions, exactly.
He
He
gives
gives
spoilers.
spoilers. Finn Balor in 2 weeks, Universal Champion. If
Hope
WWE is listening,
Hope so.
Finn Balor's walking out with the title.
Hope
We'll
so.
see.
And if not, mark my words, they'll be on the list. They'll make my list, and I will run them down if that's not what happens.
Dun dun dun.
All right. The next match is a no disqualification match.
Ooh.
Dave Masters versus Eddie Dennis.
Man.
This is basically
Shout out to
a
Eddie
match
Dennis. Shout out
that
to Eddie
Vince
Dennis.
would probably love.
He did. He was watching it. He said it was
Huge.
awesome.
Huge men fighting each other. No disqualification match. What else can you say about that?
I was not expecting Eddie Edwards to pick up.
Not Eddie
I
Edwards.
said Eddie Edwards.
Eddie
wrong,
Dennis.
Wrong company.
Yeah.
Delete.
You know what? I'm actually covering Homecoming a little bit later. That's why. But I wasn't expecting him to be able to pick up Dave Masters like that. Like he was able to like pick this. Yeah, that's big dude, and he was picking him up, man. So
Yeah, he was a big dude.
yeah, this is a great hardcore. It was a good match to throw in the middle of it to break things up because you had a lot of good long technical bouts. It was something good to throw in to mix it up, and that's one thing I really love about all the NXTs. They always pace the way they pace their matches and the way they do their match sets. It's always a good pacing. You don't ever feel like you're seeing the same kind of match back to back.
So Dave Mastiff won with cannonball through a table, which has to hurt.
Yeah, there's no way to.
There's no way. He's like 300-400 pounds.
Same ballerina.
Yeah, he ain't no ballerina. So next we have the NXT UK Women's Championship match. We have
Ooh,
Toni
it's a
Storm
cracking match.
and Rhea Ripley, the champion.
Yes.
So there's been building
She
up.
fought Pete Dunne. A little slow on that.
Got
They're
that.
like, what?
God damn it.
Oh man, that's funny.
I thought it was versus.
It was.
Toni Storm
Oh,
versus Pete Dunne.
speaking of when they did the performance center, when you saw the picture we had Rhea Ripley and Pete Dunne next to each other.
Yeah, they said they were like twins or
Yeah,
something.
it was-
Like that. That's
Well,
why I
they're
say
sisters.
they know
They
the
know.
they know the joke.
So it was funny. So this match been building up ever since the Mae Young Classic when Toni Storm won it and declared that she could go anywhere, but she wants to be the NXT UK Women's Champion. Which you
Yup.
know I commend her for that because you know
She's been through a lot.
She wants to go up through the
Personally,
ranks and
yeah.
everything. The first ever Progress Women's Champion. You know she wants to make waves in the NXT UK.
Toni Storm was awesome. Toni Storm was awesome for years.
Yeah. So it was a great match. Storm countered Rhea Ripley's Riptide with the Storm Zero to win the match.
The Riptide didn't really get over too much.
It's alright.
Yeah.
You know, I like the Storm Zero way better though.
Yeah, I like the way she delivers it.
Yeah, it's great.
And the name, it's a good name too.
So now she's the second ever NXT UK Women's Champion.
I felt a little bad for Rhea Ripley. I feel like she's kind of a little bit of a transitional champion. I feel like the idea was always to put the championship on Toni Storm. I kind of don't know why they just didn't do it from the beginning, because it seemed like that was always a plan.
I don't know. I mean, Rhea Ripley has proven herself as well in the ring.
Yeah.
She absolutely
And
has.
She
Yeah.
does have the perfect look for.
She does.
champion.
It just seems like the plan was always to put the belt on.
I
on
think
Toni
I
Storm.
think more so they're trying to really jump off of this takeover and build the storylines going forward.
I mean, Toni Storm is the
I feel
biggest woman's.
because the start of the
She's
UK
big
NXT was like
But she was the biggest
had the
pull.
tournament going
So
on.
now
There
that
was a
she's
lot
champion,
of
it's
things
even more bigger.
surrounding
It's
that.
more trending.
More
It's
of
more. Yeah.
Or that.
Yeah. So it makes sense. It makes sense.
With everything that happened with her, you know.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. She's going through injuries and stuff happening with her
You know, that
personally.
is
It's awesome.
It is an easy way to drift off of the bad news, is to give some good news,
Yep.
towards her.
Yeah, she deleted her social media
Some
now.
good
She's
publicity.
back on Instagram now. So
yay.
yeah, because we support Toni Storm over here. We support Toni
Hashtag.
Storm. Hashtag support Toni Storm. Hashtag kayfabe bad.
Hashtag shameless plug.
Shameless
Hashtag shameless plug.
Hashtag WWE Network.
Hashtag
Enough of that. Let's
we'll
move
do
on.
this
Move on.
Hashtag 999.
Hashtag main event.
Hashtag Ring Boner.
Hashtag Ring of Honor.
Hashtag New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Hashtag Pro
Alpha
Wrestling
Brother.
Tees.
Or
Hashtag Selena Dera.
Hashtag-
No, delete.
Hashtag
Delete.
kayfabe_AJ. Hashtag kayfabe_Av.
Hashtag.
Hashtag kayfabe queen. We made IG. We didn't.
Yeah,
Yes.
If we're gonna plug, let's plug us. Kayfabe queen at Instagram.
Yes.
At kayfabe_focus. At kayfabe_AJ. At kayfabe_avenue. All on IG. Kayfabe Ave Livecast on YouTube.
Page, yeah.
That you're watching right now.
Page, yeah.
Page, yeah.
Page, oh, page,
You know what?
oh,
Paige
page,
should-
yeah.
Paige should have been part of this pay per view, right?
I mean, what can you do with her?
There's Black and Paige
Yeah.
here.
Hey, I'm here. Paige here.
It's a long-
Good
that's a-
thing that you're doing here. Goodbye.
Yeah.
No, like,
Yes.
she's
a long
not needed.
flight.
Like, I'm
That's a long
sorry,
flight.
but she's not needed
That's
there.
what I needed, but it'll be
You know,
good.
bring her back as a manager on screen for SmackDown, or if you're gonna bring her up to NXT, have her manage somebody.
Yeah.
Nah, I think
But she's based
enjoying her
in
life.
the United States, so it doesn't make sense for her either.
Yeah, she's just enjoying her life now.
So, anyways, the last match and the main event of the night, the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne
which
versus
was an awesome match.
the
Joe
Iron King, Joe
Joe
Coffey. And
Cruiserweight.
oh my god.
This
That was
match
amazing.
This is like a 35-minute match.
It was just.
Are you watching, Vince? Are you
He actually is watching.
He
He
done
put it on. He
And
put
yes,
it
it
on
was
Twitter.
awesome.
He does that. He got really uncomfortable when they started chanting that.
I mean, yeah.
Chanting what?
Are you? What was
Are you
chant?
watching?
What was the exact chant?
Is Vince watching?
Is Vince? Yeah. He said
It's
he got-
been.
yeah, he got really uncomfortable.
I'm sorry, the UK
He got really
audience
uncomfortable.
live
a
is
different
like.
beast.
Yeah, they're way different
They're
than
different.
You gotta
us.
understand, you can't really mention
There's
Vince
no
McMahon
filter.
like that because
At all.
you know.
I love their
it's a
chants. 'Cause
touchy topic.
half of the chants that they create in UK, I wish that the fans in the United States were as creative. Like, I feel like
Half the times we need subtitles. Just saying.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're
Like subtitles at
Yeah.
the bottom. Like, what are they chanting?
yeah,
like,
yeah,
what's
it's
going on? Here?
creative. They're just like they made the.
Update.
I feel like
Update.
the American fans, they get rowdy, you know, at times, but I feel like they're more like a detriment to the show sometimes.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
chant the wrong.
That's because
fucking
we try to
things.
put ourselves over. The UK crowds are there to put the wrestlers over. They
Yeah.
boo the heels and they cheer the faces.
They're way louder than us though.
Yeah, they
Because
were
like
louder.
if you watch
louder.
Raw and SmackDown and all our show over here,
And
it's
also-
like you have to be an earful. Just that what are they chanting?
But also,
Unless you were actually there, and then
they're over here all the time. So
Yeah.
like when they go over there, it's a big deal because they don't get to see them like that. But you know, we get to see them more with the.
that would be on my bucket list to go to NXT UK live event
So anyway.
in the United Kingdom. Just saying.
Nah, I would. Nah, I
So
wouldn't.
Pete Dunne wins by submission from a sitting triangle with a joint manipulation.
Yeah, because Joe Cole kicked out of the what is his like move called?
Raised to bells.
I forgot, like, you know, like the pump handle, like when he flips you over. I forget, because Joe Coffey kicked out of that.
Yeah.
And they had to put him like in the hand manipulation. You know, he really. I'm glad they put over that
Oh
move.
my god, that hand manipulation is
Oh
crazy.
my gosh, yeah, that won't make Marty Scurll jealous, man. He cracked his hand and just like he yanked that immediately, just and just topped out. That was a cracking match. You definitely need to go see that.
I mean, I'll let you finish the show with what happened right after the match.
Oh, so after this cracking match, I don't like giving half stars, but after this 4.5 star match,
On the Austin meter?
yeah, I don't like giving half.
We don't
stars.
have a half star.
We don't have a half star.
either.
It was. I love this match. For me to give it a 5 star, I would have actually taken like 5 minutes off of it. I feel like and there's one spot that messed it up, and I know they messed up, and I hate to be nitpicky, but 5 star, I'm not gonna give you 5 star unless it's 5 star. They had this spot where they went to the top, and I think Joe Coffey fell, and the spot was both of them were supposed to fall off at the same time. So they went up and did the same spot again. My only issue with it is if it incorporated into the finish, then it'd be like, oh yeah, do it again. But the fact that it was just a spot, just to have to set up another move, then get to the finish, you didn't need it.
Yeah.
It was just another spot in the match. So it was just like, okay. But anyway, after the match, I wouldn't say lights went all black, but the lights didn't go all black. I feel like the lights went all black. The lights might as
You
well
wanted,
went all
you
black.
wanted that anticipation.
That-
I feel
right
like I feel
there.
like
You wanted the experience.
but we thought it was over, and then all of a sudden the music. I wish I had his music, but the music, the general music hits, and it's so awesome because everybody in that crowd on his debut knew who that was. Volter was over like Rover. Volter.
Water?
Walter.
Walter?
Walter. Yes, Walter.
Walter.
I know
It's not Walter?
No, it's spelled Walter, but it's Volter.
Volter
It's Volter.
with the W?
Yeah, I know. It sounds weird, but it's Volter. Yeah, it's Volter. And
Like Wolfgang.
he was over. Everybody knew who Volter was when he stepped in. There was the like it was an immediate. If anybody had any doubt about Volter's reaction, if he would get over, all of it was shut down then. I mean, because Volter was just immediately, as soon as he stepped foot on there, he did a face-to-face with Pete Dunne, and this is not a spoiler. This is a prediction, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is not a prediction. This is a spoiler, ladies and gentlemen. Volter will be the one to end Pete Dunne's 600-day plus
That
championship
is a
reign.
big boy. If
Happening.
anybody should,
Happening.
it be Walter.
If you have not seen
Have
a
you
Volter
seen
match,
his-
Big
Have you ever
strong
seen
boy.
Walter
Big
give somebody a
strong boy.
chop?
you need to go watch a Volter match with Will Ospreay.
Yes.
With he has one coming up against Pac. with PCO, with
Wait,
Adam Cole.
Will that match even happen now that Walter signed to the WWE and AEW
Prior obligation. Yeah.
officially signed?
Prior obligation. It was prior obligation.
That's a crazy thing. So
Yeah.
that
We're having
it's
an
a
AEW
weird situation
contract
with the
an AEW contract wrestler versus an NXT UK.
yeah.
And if
Contract
anybody doesn't know who Pac is, it's Neville.
It's Neville. Yeah, I'm not
It's
calling him
Neville.
Neville. That's Pac. Yeah,
It's Pac.
It's Pac.
But
Yeah, I kind of
just in case,
want
it's-
to transition off even reminding people that he was Neville. Like,
well, we have.
I mean,
He's
Neville was
Pac
good,
now.
but he's Pac.
He's
He's Pac.
Pac
He's a
now.
proper bastard. But yeah,
just want to
Volter.
put it out there.
Volter made his debut, and I mean, that man said nothing. Joe Coffey tried to get in the ring. Good. Shout out to Joe Coffey for selling the hell out of the boot. He tried to get back in the ring. Volter hit him with the boot. Stood face to face, well, kind of chest to face with Pete Dunne.
that image of him standing like toe to toe
Yep.
with Walter with the championship hanging out his mouth. That was
Awesome.
kind of dope.
Yeah,
It was just like,
he
I
pulls
really
up on
don't
him.
care.
He pulls up on him. So does a stance.
He's
and
like, "You're probably gonna try to beat the shit out of me, but I'm gonna beat the shit out you too."
I mean,
And
Like,
his jacket was
you know?
crazy.
on the independent scene, they actually have a tag team match. They have a British Strong Style versus Volter, and I'm pretty sure Volter had, I forgot his two guys, but like he has like a stable, and he's probably gonna bring them in. Volter literally 2018 won all of the English, all the UK independent scenes. He chopped his way through everybody. He has the hardest chops in all of wrestling. That's not an exaggeration. Like he makes your chest, he'll make your chest bleed. Cultaholic and Russell Talk were supposed to do like a prediction challenge, and the loser was gonna do like their chest gets chopped by Volter, but they medical people told them they can't because it might like really cause like serious damage, like because he chops you like that hard, like especially them not being trained wrestlers, like he might like really cause them like some serious damage if you would chop him. So I'm not just putting the shit over, like it's crazy. Go watch some Volter chops, it's crazy.
That's one of the loudest chops I've heard since like Ric Flair in his prime.
Oh my god, he got this one picture
Since
of
Chris
him
Benoit.
chopped it.
Like,
And you just see like they capture it perfectly. And you just see all this skin just come up how he just
it's like he channels the energy from like years ago and just puts it all in one.
he can move though.
Puts it all in one smack.
He's not a guy that just like, oh, I'm not gonna just big. Now he can move.
Spirit slap.
They call him the ring
Real.
general.
Let me gather your energy.
Yeah, that definitely
Wow,
is.
just-
Boom.
Rick James, bitch.
Enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourselves. So
Pun to Dragon Ball Z.
That's NXT.
that was NXT. Do we want to save Homecoming for Sunday? Or do we
Yeah,
want
we
to
can save that. Let's move on to Ring of Honor.
Yeah, let's say. So we're gonna save Impact's Homecoming,
Yeah,
which was a good show. I'm gonna
It's a
save that
long
for Sunday.
show, full of technical difficulties. Let's
That's fine.
move this on to Ring of Honor.
Okay.
Get into some good stuff.
Yo, Impact was God. Listen, LAX versus Lucha Brothers. Match of the year
See,
candidate.
Homecoming had a
Match
lot.
of the year
Homecoming
candidate.
had a lot of like shortcomings, production wise and in match.
And it wasn't
So it's
production. I don't think it was production. It was just the stories they were telling. Like they were telling the story with Gail Kim, Ty Valkyrie,
there was so many
and
botches, though.
Tesla Blanchard, right? The story was kind of revolving around Tesla Blanchard and Gail Kim. It's just like, why didn't you just give us that match? And I felt sorry for Tyra Valkyrie because nobody even cared. She won the match. Crowd was just
Well,
Tessa Blanchard and Gail Kim got face to face. Yeah, I was like, oh man. But we'll talk about that on Sunday.
yeah.
Alright, so Ring of Honor,
Oh,
we
wait.
have a
Oh,
lot.
wait. Oh, wait.
A lot that
Honor Club.
happened.
It was what,
Only
two
$9 a
shows?
month.
Right, it was 2 shows.
Well,
Saturday and Sunday.
you got 2 tapings and then Ring of Honor Reign of Supreme. But first we're gonna put that so we got, you know, the awards from Ring of Honor. So we have Women of Honor Wrestler of the Year, which goes to Sumi Sakai. You know, the
Okay.
first ever. So we also have Ring of Honor Wrestler for the men division, which would be Jay Lethal, of course. And then we have breaks.
We have Christy P on the chat. Shouts out to Christy P.
Shout out to Chrissy Pig.
Hello.
Yo.
So we have breakout star of the
What's
year,
good, V-App?
which is Flip Gordon.
Oh.
Hey,
She
Vanessa, what's
definitely-
going on?
He definitely deserved that.
Flip.
Game over.
And then
Damn.
also
Why you gonna do flip like that?
so we got the top moment of 2018, which was the attendance record at Supercard of Honor.
In New Orleans.
Yes, in New Orleans.
They made an attendance record.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor?
Well, then again, you had WrestleMania.
Yeah, WrestleMania weekend. It was
Yeah.
WrestleMania, and guess who headlined that show?
Ooh.
Kenny Omega and Cody.
Yep, and
Which
that
kind of goes
Get
to
your
my
elite
point.
Marcus
and
out
that
of
was
here.
actually named feud of the
Get your
year,
elite
Kenny
Marcus
versus
outta
Kenny
here.
Omega, which was actually beautiful. Bullet Club is fine.
Yeah, Bullet Club was fine.
Bullet Club is fine.
Bullet Club was fine.
Kayfabe Ave is great.
I
Tag
like that.
team
I
of
like
the
that.
year goes
More
to the
than-
Briscoes, which
Wait.
look out for them.
Are they 11-time or 10-time tag team champions?
10 time.
10-time. They won at that ladder war. That was 10 times.
Yeah, 10 times.
Yeah, with over 1,000 days already in combined reigns.
Move of the year goes to Jeff Cobb, Tour of the Islands. Interesting. Very interesting.
When he beat Punishment Martinez, or just like they're just saying kind of just.
No, just move of the year. What's the
Oh,
best
okay.
move of the year goes to him.
That is a cool move. When you just.
A move of the year category. I didn't think.
I didn't know that either. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I would have thought of that.
Right?
So many moves to decide from, like
we should do that. Top 5
top 5 moves.
moves.
Number
Nice.
one.
That's
Super
the
kick.
next one.
We'll,
That's
we'll,
the next one.
we'll get to that.
Super
Yeah.
kick.
My favorite,
Super kick.
my favorite match of the year, the Ladder Wars at Final Battle, which
And
we
we
were there.
predict and gave the same reward to on our holiday episode. Check that out
That's awesome.
on part 2.
I
of
also
our
just want to
holiday
point out the teams that are in that. The Young Bucks.
Yo, get your elite Marcus
It's
out
not elite.
here.
I'm just saying. I want Ring of Honor to thrive. Now they are going to thrive. They are going to
Where's
thrive.
the damn head?
Now Ring of Honor is going to thrive. They're going to
Saving him
thrive.
from a list.
The Ring of Honor is going to thrive. They're going to do great. But I'm just pointing out just some, common factors. just pointing out some common factors to this. But listen, Ring of Honor is going to be fine. I don't mean that sarcastically. They really are going to be fine.
Ring of Honor at the end of what she's gonna talk about is gonna be great.
They sold out MSG. Like WWE hasn't done in
They're
years.
gonna
I'm
be
not
great.
saying that sarcastically. Ring of Honor is gonna be fine.
Yeah. So recap on Ring of Honor on Monday at 8 o'clock on the Fight TV app. Check that out. So you
Plug all
have
these damn people.
Everybody's getting plugged, man. Everybody's getting plugged, man.
so you got Ian Riccaboni, which his birthday just passed, so happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
So he's standing in the middle of the ring with Dalton Castle, Marty
And the boys?
Scurll, Flip Gordon, and Chris Sabins to do a four-corner survival match, which that is the main event. And pretty much who comes out to interrupt, which is Matt Taven, the real Ring of Honor champion.
The real Ring of Honor champion, Matt Taven.
Which I actually really like this promo because Taven was just throwing shots, like shots fired.
Oh, he came with the heat. I had to put that on Instagram.
Yeah, he was flaming.
Taven-
He was working.
Taven
he
mentioned
was doing work.
Gordon, Flip Gordon won a tournament while everybody was on vacation.
So,
And it was
More
good.
of that,
And it
Flip.
was good to see
more of that
Flip,
Taven.
Flip Gordon's face again because for the past year, your nose has been buried so deep in the Young Bucks' asses. Shots fired.
Hashtag facts. Facts? Like,
Put him over. They put him over.
they did put him over, but facts though? Like,
I
Matt
don't think this
Taven.
had-
So
Matt
I
Taven
mean-
hit him with the 1-2
Nah, he did.
uppercut
He did. Matt Taven
combo,
definitely
like-
hit him with that.
yeah, no,
The
it,
two-piece and the biscuit.
Yeah.
it continues. So then he goes. He wondered if he went back in the time machine to 2012 when Chris Sabin was relevant and deserved to be in the world title picture.
Damn.
Damn.
I mean,
hot fire. More fire.
Hashtag facts.
That's definitely facts.
That's definitely facts.
That's definitely facts.
Ooh.
You know, that then he goes and says to Marty Scurll was the least deserving of them because he came up short in the world title match at Supercard of Honor and Best in the World, which is kind of true.
Ooh.
And he also said that you probably, you have to be this tall to catch a train to Jacksonville.
Damn it, Taven.
That hurt my heart just a little bit.
He
I was
hit him
like,
with the 1-2 uppercut. He hit him with the spinning back fist, and now he hit him with the roundhouse kick on that
Yeah.
I
one.
have to take a train
Just-
to
Damn.
Jacksonville, Florida.
Damn, we had an audience too. Damn.
Hashtag,
Damn.
AEW. Just saying.
Hashtag Kayfabe Avenue.
Then
Oh,
he
man.
goes after. Then he goes and says that he successfully defended his title against Dalton Castle at Final Battle, which we were there, which was a really good match. And tells Dalton Castle.
Honestly, that kind of gave me a lot of respect for Matt Taven in that match because he worked so believable that I was genuinely concerned for his health well-being. Like, oh my God, is he alive? Like, is he alive?
But
Like,
he also threw one more last fire to Dalton Castle by saying maybe you should go away and fake another injury.
oh. And the boys, you guys to say other boys.
Like,
Dalton Castle got his weight up though.
Oh man.
so he goes on and saying that the next person to get a title match should earn it, which obviously, of course, like he did. Then all of a sudden Jay Lethal comes out. They get in a confrontation where they both pull up the belt, but then Jay Lethal smacks the belt out of his hand, where then he lifts his belt, the real Ring of Honor champion.
Whoa. Matt Taven has the real Ring of Honor championship.
Okay,
Oh, man, too.
it's a disagreement there.
Shouts to
Anyway,
Matt Taven. That's a nice belt.
it is.
That is a
purple
great
strap
ass
does
belt.
make
The
a difference.
Purple, oh my God.
But then he goes and spits on Jay Lethal's belt,
Oh yeah.
and that's when they
That's
get
the
into a
fake
brawl.
shit.
That's
That's the
Chinatown
fake
Army.
one.
That's that fit. That's
We don't respect that
FanDuel-
black strap belt.
FanDuel
Like,
That FanDuel belt, right?
right? That's
So,
a
of course-
Oh, FanDuel? You said you trying to say
that's that
FanDuel?
FanDuel.
So again,
man,
they
y'all
go
crazy.
they go into a brawl. Security comes out, breaks them off. All right. Then we got a proving ground match. So if anybody doesn't know, it's when we have random superstars coming to fight a champion to get their shot at a title match in the future. So we come out for the Ring of Honor World Television Champion Jeff Cobb versus Luchasaurus, which
I love his mask, man.
which honestly, like, he came out with a freaking roundhouse kick off the bat, like the beginning of the match.
Luchasaurus?
Yeah, which was
I
incredible.
love his mask. Like,
spot.
that reptilian gimmick is crazy.
Yeah.
So, he
Shouts out to the conspiracy theories.
a spinning heel kick to a near fall. He tries his momentum going, but of course, Jeff Cobb, ends up hit him with a
Tour down.
spinning suplex.
Tour
And
down.
followed him with a suplex and a standing moonsault for a near fall. And pretty much, it goes on and on. I'm not going to get into full details, but then Cobb then planted his Luchasaurus with a pie driver and finished him off with the tour of the island, which is, Move of the year.
Move of the year.
Apparently.
Then we have the Women of Honor World Title match, which
Nah,
is,
fuck that. The move of the year is the V-trigger.
well,
So
we're talking
peop-
about Ring of
So
Honor.
many people trying to imitate that move.
Nobody can do it.
It's true. Then we have the Women of Honor
Buddy
World title
Murphy.
match, which is Kelly and Nikki Adams. Which before the match even started, Kelly announced that every match that she's going to have is going to be a title match. So I really applaud that. So every time she gets a match, with whoever, the title's gonna be on the line.
Nice.
So of
More
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
more of that.
So
More
Kelly
of that.
Klein, she ends up win with a vicious knee to the face for the victory. After the match, Jenny Rose comes out to the stage and says that she and Klein have an unfinished business where she challenged Kelly to make their title match at Honor Reign Supreme on January 13th, which just passed, at a street fight. So we'll get into that. And Kelly Klein accepts. It goes on where Beer City Bruiser is distressed over Silas Young because they've been friends over the years and blah blah blah, and
Silas Young, who's gonna
He
in
need
Ring of
to
Honor,
change his name to Silas. Oh,
he
man.
is, but Silas Young is gonna get a big push.
He's good though. I like
He's
him.
gonna be a top guy in Ring of Honor because he's just on a fat contract.
He's gonna be
How
gonna be
old
a
is
top
that
guy
kid,
in Jim
Silas
Crockett's
Young?
promotion.
I'm not
you know?
sure.
I mean,
No.
we got the Crockett Cup coming back though, man. We got the Crockett Cup coming back. I would not be surprised to see because I mean, Nick Aldis just defended his belt against PJ Black.
Yeah.
in a successful match.
Oh, by the way, PJ
Nick
Clark
Aldis
just-
is all over Ring of Honor right now.
Well, the thing with
That's why we're probably going to see them in the Crockett Cup.
NWA they're doing right now is not really a promotion. It's basically just an alliance right now, as it was
Yeah.
back in the day.
Where
Yeah.
it can go, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It
The
makes
Northern
sense.
Wrestling Alliance.
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna eventually. I think everybody's gonna kind of transform.
There's 2 territory systems forming right now.
So the next
Well,
thing
one's
that
getting that
comes
TV.
up
Huh?
is
That TV though.
Christopher
That's
Daniels comes out
Only one's
to
got in the
do
TV.
Man,
to
Uh,
a farewell
See,
end
Elitist Mark
in his
over here.
chaos.
Birdman.
We get, when
Yeah.
the edited version has to say Elitist Mark Moment.
They're the only people getting
Right
TV
here.
deal.
Yo, but I'm just saying, he's hot, he's spicy, he tastes great. Oh man, that was a great gimmick.
Yeah. So we got, like I said, Christopher Daniels' farewell ends in chaos.
Oh no.
Christopher Daniels comes out in a suit and says after losing to Marty Scurll at Final Battle, there was nothing left to do but to say goodbye since his Ring of Honor contract isn't being renewed. Daniel continues saying that he had great memories, bringing up some matches that he had with Daniel Bryan's son and
Yep.
everything like that, mentioning other wrestlers. And after
Nigel Guinness.
comes out and offers him
There's
a new Ring of Honor contract. So he was very accepting of that and everything like that. But then again,
What?
Shane Taylor comes out and
Okay.
screams and talks about where's my contract. So obviously we know Shane Taylor doesn't have a contract yet with Ring of Honor. So we'll
see what.
We'll see what happens.
I like how they weave that in. That's like kind of a constant thing in Ring of Honor, the contract. Like they always make that canon into their story. Like, well, this person's contract's coming in. Like they got to fight to get their contract back. So that's always a cool thing they always.
So they get into a
Yeah,
brawl,
sorry.
which freaking Shane Taylor destroys Christopher Daniels and
Damn.
literally hits him with a chair. And while Christopher Daniels is laying there, he picks up his contract and rips it and stuffs it in Christopher Daniels' mouth.
Yeah.
Which we already know Christopher Daniels is going to AEW.
Is that binding by like a signature? You think? I
I
see that's a basic contract right there. I'm
Contract.
just saying, cease and desist.
All elite, all elite.
So then we go to the Four Corner Survival match as the main event. And not really getting into details of that, but
Who was in it?
so we have Dalton Castle, Marty Scrolls, Chris
course.
Sabins, and Flip Gordon.
Flip.
And the person who wins gets a title opportunity against Jay Lethal at Ring of Honor.
This is kind
Supreme.
of weird. So is the Cruise of Jericho not in canon? Because the Sea of Honor tournament. Well, Flip
What about survival of the fittest?
Marty Scurll won Survival of the Fittest, and Flip Gordon won the Sea of Honor tournament, which is supposed to guarantee them both a future heavyweight championship opportunity. So this match is almost a little redundant for them to be in it because both of them already have that number one contender match. But
So who ends up winning that match to go after the championship, which will be Dalton Castle
in the boys.
and the boys, of course, the boys.
Fan him up. Fan him up. Fan him up.
So pretty much now we're gonna jump into. Then you had Saturday, which is another TV.
Is this
taping.
where so Flip got hurt in night 2?
I will get into that. No, let me see.
I seen that he get. Does anybody have any updates on Flip? Is Flip alright? Is it serious or?
he's gonna be
I
in a
got an
couple
update. Chris Sabin and Flip
I think
Gordon
it's gonna be. I think it's MCL.
were injured during the live events over the weekends. This week they're gonna get MRIs on their knees. It's believed that Sabin suffered a torn ACL in his right knee during the 6-man Mayhem match at the television
That's
taping
like 10 months.
in Atlanta on Saturday night.
At least.
Then after expecting he got injured by the expecting Super Hurricane Errata on Flip Gordon, so he wasn't. And then Flip Gordon injured his right knee during his match against Tracy Williams at Honor Reign Supreme on Sunday. So
That sucks.
more update on that. Hopefully, best of luck, feel better, speedy recovery for both of them.
Yeah, man. Damn, man. Flip. Man, yeah, get better, Flip. Please get better soon, Flip. Flip is my guy. Flip is my guy.
Also, another news. Rush is coming to Ring of Honor.
From Los Econobles, King Japan.
Yes.
King Japan.
Well,
Definitely. He did
The
mention
Mexico.
that
Oh, he's from the original? Oh, so from
Mexico.
Los Econobles.
Him and La Sombra.
Okay.
so he did say for all the fans of Ring of Honor, I'm returning one more time, but that's just not for one date. Rush, who made his Ring of Honor debut last month in a match that will air on Ring of Honor Wrestling this weekend, he has said I'm returning to stay, so we'll definitely keep an eye out on him. Which he mentioned that his new home is called Ring of Honor, so he's staying for.
So it's
for
Los
a long time.
Econobles Day, Mexico.
Yeah. Then we're gonna get into
Hey.
They're not. They're nada.
Denada.
They're nada.
So we're gonna go into Honor Reign Supreme, which was Sunday in Concord. You can watch it on
North Carolina.
North Carolina, but you can watch it on Fight TV if you want to pay for the pay-per-view or join Honor Club. Just
For
saying.
only $9.99 a month.
It's streaming
Hashtag-
right now.
Hashtag kayfabe Bell.
Hashtag kayfabe.
I think the
focus.
cheap plugs made the list.
You know what?
Ridiculous.
You know what?
All these shit
You're
was on
just-
this list.
So we have a lot of newcomers showing up on this pay-per-view. Mark Hazek. You got Mark Hazek, which is a Progress wrestler, which I actually got to meet,
Mark
and
Haskins.
yeah, I actually got to meet at Progress Wrestling in Philly.
You know what's crazy? I keep
Which-
on getting him and Mark Andrews confused.
Ow.
Because they're
How?
both
Andrews.
named Mark.
It's
They're both named
the
Mark.
Marks. It's just the Marks.
It's just Marks. They're both Marks.
God damn it.
You also have Juice Robertson.
Juice,
Oh,
juice, 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 juice.
That
And-
whole friction.
Yep, and David Finley. Actually,
Oh, yeah. Son of the Finley.
For
yeah, which they actually did a tag team and defeated the Best Friends, Beretta
Chuck E.
and Chucky T. Then you have
Was Chucky T? No, was Beretta acting a little more aggressive?
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
Like you
okay.
actually see
He's
it.
still continuing that storyline from New Japan, like that. More of that.
Yeah.
More of that.
More of that. You also have
Cross promotion storyline.
you know, Hot
Amen.
Sauce, Tracy Williams. You know, look out for him this year. Defeating Flip Gordon because of referee stoppage. Like I just said, he suffered a knee injury during that match.
That sucks, man. Really, shout out to Flip, man. I hope you get
Flip.
soon. Hope you get back soon. I was really looking forward to seeing Flip at Double or Nothing.
I was really hoping Flip to give us more of that.
Probably.
Does he have like another year on his contract?
Maybe he's gonna go to AEW.
Nah, he still got another year on the contract, but man.
Well,
Your elite Markism is showing.
Listen, I'm saying it just makes sense. I mean, they didn't take him out the.
You hear that ticking noise? You hear that
Yeah, I
ticking
feel
noise?
it.
They didn't take him out the beginning of the whatchamacallit of the intro, so you know.
so
They
then
didn't take Marty out either.
It's still part of the week.
then you got once it started off, you got the Sindobi Shadow Squad, which is Cheeseburger, Elias, and Ryan,
Cheeseburger.
and defeating John Skyler, Josie Quinn, and Corey Hollins. Is what I'm saying right?
I don't
I
know.
don't know who that is.
Well,
I don't know who they are.
Apologies, people. I don't know. I do not know who they are.
yeah, I just know Cheeseburger. Obviously, Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger.
You also
I
have
don't like cheeseburger.
really.
No. I think he needs to eat more cheeseburgers.
he's a little.
Yeah, he is skinny
Yeah,
to be named Cheeseburger.
Yeah.
He's a McDonald's cheeseburger.
That's a small.
Where? White Castle.
So he's just a walking.
White
He's a
Castle's
slider.
way, White Castle's way
He's
better
a
than
slider. That's
McDonald's.
all it is.
I
He's a
guess
slider.
He's a
Cheeseburger.
slider with cheese.
Cheeseburger is a slider, aka a walking GMO.
Walking GMO.
You,
Count the sins.
where is it?
Vegan talk. Vegan talk.
Man, listen, man. I would
Somebody
still have
put.
that
Shouts
chicken.
out to Fernando. He
would
put
still
on
have
his page. Am I a little bit of a dick for hating? For liking the British Strong Style less? Because they're vegan, I say yes.
Yeah.
You're
a dick.
So you also have
They actually have to turn off that comment thing right there. You saw that, right? They
No.
turned off the comments.
No,
Because it was getting debated.
It was? I didn't see that.
Oh,
I'm
man,
about to go
it
check.
was.
So you also have the
More
Ring
that.
of Honor World 6-Man Tag Team Champion, which is the Kingdom, Matt Taven, TK Orion, and Vinny Marcella, defeated Hurricane, Luchasaurus, and Delicious,
Which, by the way,
Delirious.
Hurricane
Delirious
fits
in a
perfect.
proving ground match.
Weirdly perfect with the Luchasaurus and the other guy.
Yes.
Cool.
They're just making
Delirious.
these random tag teams together.
I
So,
think
yeah.
If everybody remembers Hurricane
I think
from
Delirious
WWE.
is the booker of Ring of Honor. I believe.
Is he really?
So you also have Bandino defeating PJ Black,
Bandito.
which, you know, I'm happy PJ Black is back on.
Yeah, PJ
Yes.
Black is awesome.
He's
Like-
good, even though he lost one of his fingers.
Still.
That's fine.
Then you have
Those things
Joe
every day, dude.
Joe Cobb defeating
And so
Titus
Santino
and
of
Jonathan
Superplex.
Gresher in a proving ground instant reward match.
What does
So
that
it's-
mean?
That's a mouthful.
So it's like it's pretty much another proving ground is pretty much like opportunities to go
Okay.
for a title match. So
Okay.
he did pretty much 2 against 1.
Oh, that's nice.
So obviously, and then you also have the street fight of the Women of Honor. Kelly Klein defeats Jenny Rose in the street fight for the title. Then you have the new upcoming Villain Enterprise.
Whoop whoop.
Too sweet.
Yep, Marty Scurll,
Whoop,
PCO, and Brody King defeated Ring of Honor's World Tag Team Champions Jay and Mark Bristle and Silas Young. So maybe we'll see some gold around their belt.
Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
There's a prediction.
More of that.
Probably.
Predicting.
Yeah, probably. Definitely. Yeah, I can definitely.
And then
see
the
that.
main event goes on with the world champion of Ring of Honor, Jay Lethal, versus Dalton Castle, and of course, Jay Lethal retains,
Lethal injection.
you know, with the lethal injection.
I love that movie.
So that is pretty much what I have for
Flipping
Ring of Honor
Dance RKO.
this week.
That's it.
So
We got
So-
MLW.
Well, we're saying MLW for Sunday.
Alright, we can say MLW for Sunday.
So this week we covered Raw, SmackDown, NXT UK, 205 Live. We touched
Takeover.
on Blackpool Takeover.
We had a lot of shameless plugs.
A lot of shameless plug. We touched on Ring of Honor.
I want to throw out there Total Bellas ended up airing as well, but it wasn't really much. It was pretty much just what happened after,
Delete.
you know, Nikki and John Cena ended. She ended up moving out. She's thinking of moving to LA, and you know she's still a lot of the fans still ask her like where's her ring at? Are they planning on getting back together? You know, she did mention that she dated Dolph Ziggler before her and John
I
Cena.
mean, he was
You
there
know,
to show the
when I-
world.
You
So-
talking about Nikki Bella and the
Yeah.
Two Bellas, okay.
Yeah, Total Bella's season premiered on Sunday, so just wanted
Watch
to
that.
throw that. Yeah, watch it. It's actually you'll find a lot of
on the
insight.
E! Network.
I'd rather Total Divas than Total Bellas because I feel like Total Bellas is obviously centered on them.
And then
Total Divas is like, okay, I could dip into the stuff that probably I really don't care about, but I get more behind the scenes and more interactions with like the bookers and the talent, the head of talent relations and stuff like that.
Yeah, but then remember,
for Total Bellas, you just got John Laurinaitis.
John Laurinaitis is their stepfather. Is their stepfather, so.
doing? Where's John?
But I like the I actually like both of them.
to take my daughter and make her famous. Let's put her on the show. I think that's a good idea.
I don't mean to be the negative Nancy, but I don't care about either one.
You know why you don't care
Go
about
ahead and say it.
Negativity has a name.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say
It's
it.
my stick.
Nancy.
I'm gonna go ahead and just say it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
Hey,
Sorry. I was all the way with you through the Ring of Honor. I was with you. I was 100% with you.
the
I mean,
queen
there's
has spoken. If I want to talk about it, I'll talk about it.
Facts.
Oh.
Ooh, and the
Oh.
kayfabe queen has officially used her powers.
My skit. I didn't interrupt
Sure.
on his skit.
Good.
Did I?
This is
No.
Shame.
Shame.
You're already on the list
Shame.
twice. So make it a third time.
That'd
fun.
be a record 3 times on Kayfabe Avenue. I think that's a record.
I think
You're on it twice.
I think she's taking my spot for putting me on the list. I don't think I'm on the list anymore. I got a new gimmick now. That's why.
It's not even the list. It's the royal decree.
Royal decree.
Decree.
It's
That's
the
good. That's
Kayfabe
what we-
Avenue royal decree.
Good. That's why we copyright that. The Kayfabe Avenue Royal decree. Good. So not
It's
the
in
list
the
anymore.
book.
Yeah, it's in the book. It's in the book.
It's in the scroll.
Yeah, 'cause I got a new gimmick now, so I can't even worry about putting people on the list.
Yeah.
I got a new gimmick now. I can't work two gimmicks at the same time.
Yeah.
She's
I'll
no.
take care
Yeah.
of
How
it.
about you get
I
Jay
can't.
Maverick.
that tap on the shoulder?
Oh, which one? Rich
You
Flair?
could be the.
Yeah, just here.
Nah.
I was about to say.
I don't know what happened. Where we glitted? Where we glitted?
I think we was at that spot where we say our Instagram names right now.
Yeah.
Like, we can say that
All
at,
finished? Oh,
at
okay.
kayfabe.
With that being
AJ.
said, ladies and gentlemen, AJ, tell them where you go. Tell them where you at.
At Kayfabe_AJ on Instagram.
At kayfabe_focus.
The Queen.
Kayfabe Queen on Instagram. Just got it today.
You can find me at Kayfabe Ave. You can find me at Mr. Richie Moon. Follow us at excuse me, subscribe.
Like us, make some comments,
Follow.
subscribe, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, buy all the t-shirts and oh wait, no, that's the wrong show.
Yeah.
And take
Yeah.
care and wait, no, damn.
Yeah, you're on the wrong show.
Wait, how do we say off the show again? Oh yeah, Kenny, take us home.
Yeah, Kenny, take us. It's gonna be an awkward one. We're gonna go slowly.